So you think that was the scariest you've ever been watching somebody skate? Because when they're doing big stuff, like listen, this is skateboarding, man. Like people can get hurt.
Oh yeah, big time,
bro. Like,
yeah.
Is there any other scary moments, or was that the one you think?
So I was shooting Andrew Cannon in Arizona, and he blew out his knee, but he skated this hubba. I forget what trick he was trying, crook, back 50. He falls down and yells on the ground, and then he yells my name, and I freeze. I'm just like, what? And just kind of watching and just like, oh, what just happened, And then walk over to him, He goes to the hospital, and he's like, yeah, I blew out my knee.
But that's not being scared watching somebody.
No.
That's like aftermath.
That's aftermath,
right?
yeah, that. And then when Charlie blew out his teeth and like almost cut his tongue
what?
off, that one was gnarly.
Who? Charlie
Blair. We were in Vegas, and he's skating this bump over electrical box. He jumps it, the board hits the box, bounces back into his mouth, takes his couple of teeth out, and then cuts his tongue to where it looks like it's almost off.
Just like hanging there.
And he just covers his mouth. We go to him, and he shows me his mouth. I'm like, holy shit, we got to get you to the doctor.
All right. We are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special...
Wait, hold on. Chris Ortiz, I was talking to him earlier, and he was like, what if you just stop him at the first special and we just keep it like that? Has anybody else just had one? I'm sorry.
You really started. You just
and that's how we start the show.
Oh my God.
Deville,
I'm going to be the first one kicked out of here. Oh no.
I love it, dude.
I'm so embarrassed.
Deville Nunes, everybody. Deville Nunes is with us. We'll keep it like that. If Ortiz only wants one special for you, it shows a lot what Ortiz thinks about you.
And he was like, no, don't bring up my name.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, oh, no, but your sticker's right there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to hate us.
He was so mad at me about that sticker. I'm like, no, it's because of the love, dude. Like, people love you. Like, you're the best. Like,
he is the best.
Right? He really is.
He's the best dude. If anybody out there doesn't know Chris Ortiz, phenomenal photographer. He's done so much for skateboarding.
He has.
And he's just an amazing
Thrasher Trans
dude.
World, Forum.
And he does not like being on camera.
Yeah. By the way, we got Raj sitting in for Jerron. Congratulations. Jerron just had a brand new baby girl last night. Everybody watching this, it'll be like a week later, but like, dude, Jerron just had a baby last night.
So sick.
Congrats to Jerron. He'll probably be back in and out a little bit. He's maybe he's got on parental mode, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
With the new
He's
baby.
on maternity leave.
Maternity leave, yeah. So welcome, Raj, sitting in. How's it feel?
Feels odd.
Feels good. Oh. I was going to say good.
You don't feel at home?
I mean...
Because it's technically your home?
It is. Yeah. Deville, thank you so much for coming by. This is going to be great. Just to get this started real quick, though, you've been with Powell. Like, you were a photographer, filmer, team manager, right? And currently like filmer, team manager, but you still do all three, right?
All three, yeah. So I've been there for like 20 years, got hired because I was shooting photos, and at the time photos were really prevalent.
Yeah.
I remember applying, and then I was also like, oh, Joe Krolick, you should apply. And then my friend Neil Alonso, you should also apply.
What are you creating?
Well, because if I didn't get it, I was like, oh, my friend should get it too.
Okay. But it worked out for you.
It did. Not the first time. First time Eric Olson got it. And then after a year, he left. I applied again. I was like, oh, I want this because of all the videos and all that stuff.
It's a heritage.
I grew up with that. And I was like, oh my God, I really want to do this. And you're going to let me take out the team and go skate, get a gas, just all the perks that come with.
Yeah, I have some gnarly spots for these guys.
Oh, yeah, you do.
And, we'll get into it because like you said, how many years? 20 plus, 25?
I think it's about 20 years.
20 years. That's a long time.
Congrats, dude. That's awesome.
And it's fun to see Powell. And I don't know if it's fun, but it's been through a lot of like different changes. It's been through kind of whatever you call maybe rebuilds and little things here and there. But man, you guys are still manufacturing your own products and stuff like that down there, right?
Yeah, flight decks are made there. The wheels are made there.
Crazy. You're probably the only skateboard company that does it, that manufactures.
You think?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many.
Yeah.
Is there any other ones?
I mean, there's wood manufacturers, but they're making boards for other people.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But we'll get into all the Powell stuff because, I mean, we have so much to go over. Was Fun your first video that you did for them or no?
Fun was the first video that we did. For
That was a good video,
gnarly.
dude.
It was
a
I
gnarly
remember that.
video.
Yeah.
Thank you. That before that was like working with Jordan to do the digital video.
Jordan
stuff
Hoffart.
like Jordan Hoffart. Yeah.
Okay. When you went in to go, let's just dive into the Fun video real quick because I think that video was buck. That video was gnarly, dude. Was the team already set, or did you were putting people on back then, or how was
It was kind of a process of let's go film, and then I remember like halfway through it, Rob Washburn was like, "Well, how much footage do you have?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know." And so we looked at it, and we were like, "Oh, wow, we're actually decently close. Let's just try to get the last bangers, try to fill out the whole video."
Okay.
Who was the first person you put on the team once you got the job as team manager?
Shoot.
Do we know or you don't know? 20 years ago, Raj.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we're most
Josh
of-
Hawkins is right there, so I'm like, maybe
He's-
Josh
Maybe?
when he had like the long hair.
He was amazing.
Were most of these dudes
He's super
guys
cool.
that you put on?
In the Fun video, yeah, Jordan was already there.
Okay.
I remember Jordan was there, and then Jordan was really a big part of Fun because I mean he would stay at my house and we would go out. You know, he'd help me coordinate stuff and just like good soundboard and really motivated guy.
That tail slide at the end. That was the cover of the video, right?
It was no, I don't think it was the cover of the video. It was just all of us on there. But that tail slide, do you ever see where he breaks the truck through the board?
Oh, it's in the video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The truck goes through the board when he lands. He breaks the board, and the truck goes through because it's so high. I've never seen anybody take a truck through a board.
Wait. We
gnarly.
have to find. It's in the video.
It's the last trick, right?
Last trick. Look at this tail slide, though, dude. Yeah, I remember watching this video. 2009, it came out, right?
This video kind of shook a lot of people because there was like all these pros doing their thing, and then all these new kids came out with these gnarly parts.
I think that had partially to do with because I was trying to get photos in Thrasher, and it was really easy to get guys that weren't names. In Thrasher, it was just the gnarliest thing.
It just had to be a gnarly trick.
That Thrasher is definitely like, you know, you want something gnarly in there.
Yeah.
And that was the place to get it.
This is a tail slide.
Yep.
That his truck popped through?
The truck popped through.
Wow.
I actually never, to be honest, I never noticed that happened.
Not
not
on
in that one.
Not on the land.
Okay.
It might not be in the video, or is it at the credits or somewhere? There's
You're a baby right
I just
there.
love that.
Wait.
You
Something
just wanted
gnarly
to talk
happens,
about it because you were in the clip right there.
But
now.
there's like, when you see gnarly things happen, you see two people. You see a Deville or you see Rhino at the end of a clip.
Oh, that's funny.
It's true.
Burnett once told me I go in, I hand him some photos. He's like, I don't know what to do with these photos, man. Like these are a bunch of no names. We're gonna start this thing called a lunatic fringe. And so from then on, like I had like this lunatic fringe. It was like, oh yeah, here you go. Give me 2 to 4 bangers, and we'll put it in. It's called the lunatic fringe, and that's kind of how that started.
Really?
That's sick.
Because that was like my whole goal, always to find the new kids, like new up and coming kids, like like
Dude, I feel like you found a lot of new kids and they got taken from you too.
Oh, definitely. There's
Yeah.
a lot of sitting at castle contests and like just watching and like, is this kid good or is this kid not good?
But how does that make you feel? Because you discovered probably discovered like a lot of skateboarders that went from like a Powell kind of maybe flow to like other teams.
How did that make me feel?
Yeah. I mean, like you're putting in the work, you're finding these kids, and then somebody else then they go somewhere else.
You almost were like a farm team.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Well, at first it was heart wrenching. It was like gutting. I actually have a story about a rider that he was 15 years old.
Okay.
Brian Fick shows me this kid, and he's doing Smith grinds down El Toro. I'm like,
For fun.
man, this kid is good. And he's dressing all crazy, like good style. I'm like, so I hook him up, and we start going out. I start picking him up from Laguna, and we're going out all the time. Like, hey man, how about this? I'm gonna get you in every single skateboard magazine in 1 month, and you will blow up overnight. That's the hopes.
Okay.
And so I go to Thrasher. I'm like, hey, can we do this? Yes. Transworld, skateboarder, slap.
Wow.
We get it all lined up. 6 months, 9 to a year later, everything comes out. And in the meantime, I'm taking him. I'm like, hey, what kind of music do you like? He's like, oh, I like rock and roll. I'm like, all right, cool. Have you ever thought about dressing that way? He's like, oh, I never thought about that. So we went to a couple stores and, made him look
Did
pretty.
a little makeover.
And then I got his tape, put it together, edited it, walked it into Emerica. He got on Emerica, got Flow. And so everything was going great. I'm like having this good relationship with him. Nicest kid. Everything comes out. He calls me the next day. He's like, dude, Brian Sumner called me. I'm going to Birdhouse.
Yeah.
He's a Christian. I'm a Christian. And I'm just like, gutted. I'm like so bummed.
You're like, this is a year
Yeah. So I'm
that we just worked on all this stuff.
maybe 2. And,
Wow.
and I'm just like, okay, what do I do? And how do I stop other people from doing this? And so this is something that you do not do in skateboarding. This will burn you. So this is a story that I tell people and I tell my riders how not to live your life. You know, because
Okay.
I learned, and I did it twice. I did it to Peter Raffin and Justin Figueroa. Justin Figueroa is the person I'm talking about right now.
Okay.
And so what I did, I called up Transworld. I was like, hey, I got this footage. It's all PAL footage. Let's put it out. And so they put it out on the YouTube. And it probably doesn't sound so serious now, like, because everything goes on YouTube now. But at the time, it was heart-wrenching for him. And later on, I apologized to him. But also I wanted to talk about this on here because
Sure.
I just wanted to do a formal apology. Like, to do that, it was so lame. And also by burning their footage and putting it out there, it didn't really stop anything. And I just didn't like the way it felt. Even over the years, it's just kind of a shitty thing to do, just to do that. You know, I could have just given them the footage and they go on their way and we're friends. And maybe later on, you know, they come back or whatever it is, you know. So I kind of learned from that. And then when Chris Joslin left, that's another story. I did it better.
You learn from your mistake.
Learn from mistakes. I mean, my friend Makai Furukawa once told me something happened. He's like, I just didn't like the way it felt. So I went back and I apologized. And, you know,
Right.
I apologized to Figgy. I haven't been able to get a hold of Peter, but sorry for that.
Because, like, yeah, YouTube wasn't really a big thing. It was almost like non-existent. Everybody was putting out videos and
Everybody wanted in a video.
In a
So
video,
now if I
right.
told that story, it just doesn't matter because they just want to be seen.
Right.
And they're putting it on Instagram that night. Right?
But back then, different.
Back then, different.
So you and Figgy are good.
I don't know if we're good, but I apologize to him. And he's done nothing but nice things, even during it. He was always nice to me. I never heard anything bad, you know.
Okay.
He was always civil, just a nice kid.
Gotcha.
Right? And then Peter Raffin, when he sees me, he'd be drunk sometimes, be like, oh, I love you, Deville. Thanks for everything you did. And then he'd call me and be like, oh, fuck you, Deville. And then it would just be back and forth.
Just flip-flopping.
Just flip-flopping.
But I like it. You learn from your mistakes. And you were you about to say some
I
the next?
was going to tell you about, so with Chris Joslin.
Chris Joslin, yeah.
So we went to Europe for like a month or two. And before we left, I was telling my boss, I was like, hey, we should really put him on because he's at that next level, you know? You can see it with certain skaters, they're just that cut above. And triples already set, budget was set, couldn't take him. I come back, he's like, hey, I'm going to another board company who I won't name. And this pro is trying to get me on there. I was like, hold on for a second.
He won't name it?
No,
Or you won't name it
just,
right now?
I just didn't want to.
We know who it is.
Okay. So you guys will be able to figure it out.
Right. Is it the same company he's on right now?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
So that company
go
was
ahead.
trying to get him.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on. How about let me help you get on one of the elite companies. Let me hit up Plan B and get you on there, and hopefully we can keep you on Bones and Swiss. So I called Ryan Denman. I was like, hey, you should check out this kid. And I sent him his tape. He's like, oh, the kid's good. I was like, you should definitely hook him up. And he's like, oh, I'll talk to Colin. Yeah, we're going to hook him up. He calls me like a week or two later. He's like, yo, what's up with your boy? He's asking for 20 boards a month. I'm like, send it to him. He breaks them.
Wow.
Yeah.
He would break board. He was the only rider that would send 20 boards a month to, and he would go through them.
Yeah.
He's flying.
Yeah, he's just jumping them.
He's jumping, yeah.
It's insane.
Oh, so you want to tell us who the company was? So it was another company was trying to grab him before Plan B.
Yeah.
Because Plan B did a good job. Eric Bragg, he did a good job. He was trying to keep him, Chris Joslin, a secret. And then have him come out like,
Okay.
you know,
Swinging
just
for true, yeah.
Was it Be True?
Be true.
Be True.
I think
Yeah,
that
he
was.
wanted to, he opened the video up
Yep.
and he wanted to keep him a secret.
Yeah,
So.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Keep him a secret.
Yeah.
Somebody else is stealing.
Well, I mean,
I think he just wanted to hit people over the head. Like,
Head
who the
with it.
hell is
Yeah.
this kid?
because people had heard about him randomly, like the backside 360 flip down, what's it called?
Rincon.
Rincon.
Yeah.
Okay, so sounds to me like you're learning through these mistakes that you made? Like now, kids are going to leave. Chris Joslin's going to leave, so you want to try to get him in a good place.
Yes,
And keep him on
Bones or
right.
Swiss,
Keep him in the
'cause
family, yeah.
part of family, and like maybe something happens with Plan B, comes back later. Some like some people like Brad McClain has left and then he's come back, and so it's just like keep those relationships because I know what's going to happen if I burn that bridge.
I like that you learn from. We all got to learn from our mistakes.
I think
man.
I even like when I did the straight to the internet. I told you got to hold on to Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He's sick.
He's amazing.
So we'll come back to all the Powell stuff because it's great. I'm sure you have amazing stories. And we'll talk about Andy Anderson, him recently getting on, and not recently, but you know what I mean. But we want to know who Deville is because you had a crazy kind of upbringing, right? You moved around a lot from different country to country, and then you finally settled in New Jersey.
Definitely moved around a lot. Born in Africa, then moved to Holland, Austria, America, England, back to America, New Orleans, Florida.
Wow.
Eventually California. I'm probably missing something.
Why were you moving around so much?
So I was born in Africa. My dad was a human rights lawyer, and he does international and space law.
Oh.
And so, and that's also where the name came from. It's because my dad was a human rights lawyer, and he was working with somebody, an opposition leader, who's named Sir Deville, so he shortened my name to Deville.
Interesting.
And then he didn't like what was going on there. So we got out of Africa, went, met my mom, moved to Austria, where she's from, and then started studying in Holland. And then he studied at Yale and Connecticut. And then he started teaching in England, and then back to America.
Wow. How old were you when you kind of settled in like New Jersey and started skating?
Started skating at 12.
12.
Right before I think we moved to England.
Oh.
And then so England was like the real like, oh, this is the spot. Like, let's skate. There's all like South, like I've been skating South Sea since South Bank.
Yes.
For what's that, 30 years, 35
Wow.
years, before you guys probably went there and it was like half of it. It was 2-3 times the size.
It's like in the tunnel, right?
Yeah,
it's like
in the
goes through
tunnel, there was a bank to wall.
Mhm,
There's like
mhm.
all kinds of stuff.
Right. Yeah, they closed that off for some,
And
right?
they recently reopened it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
They built a lot more in there now
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place was amazing.
Is that
back
where you
then.
saw skating for the first time?
Through magazines, and then just going to like, really getting inspired by it, and like, yeah. So England was definitely like where it kind of all started.
Didn't you stay with Alex Mole and Penny a lot?
So my mom set up a mini ramp, or kind of a skate park mini ramp, and then Jeremy Fox slept over my house. We did a contest. Crazy, right? So the next morning, I hop on the train with Jeremy Fox, and we meet Sean Goff, who is a pro, and Alex Mole. And we go to South Bank, and Sean Goff's like, Alex, do that trick you showed me that nobody's ever seen. And he does a 1 foot. And then Jeremy Fox puts him on Death Box. And then Alex teaches me how to do a 1 foot. And then what's funny is I bring it up to Alex. He totally doesn't remember any of this stuff anymore.
Really? Death Box was before Flip.
Yes,
So,
Death Box was before. Flip.
Was Jeremy Fox sleeping over at your house? Did you even know this guy?
No.
Just random.
Yeah.
And how did the mini ramp come around?
She petitioned the city to get the mini ramp at the YMCA.
Your mom did?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it's pretty cool.
Okay. So that was your spot.
That was definitely like, yeah, the mini ramps. Yeah.
Okay. And then what's up with Penny? You knew he was younger though, right? He's a younger kid.
So Penny was a little kid that we would see sometimes at a mini ramp. I remember one time we were like just snaking him, and then he went once. We're like, oh, okay. You know what? You can keep going.
Oh, you saw something like he was that
Oh,
good.
he was definitely that special. And then there was another time that I tell my riders that they don't believe. We're skating a contest, and Sean Goff was you would skate the contest, and if you were qualified, they'd put a beanie on your head. And I think Alex Mole was a judge, so like 10 kids got a beanie. And then we all skated the contest, and then they announced it, and they were like, Deville first, and then Tom Penny actually got third. So who was the kid that got second?
Wait, who?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a mystery. We need to figure that out.
So you beat Tom Penny at a contest.
And somebody
remember,
else.
it's like 35 years ago.
And somebody else that doesn't even we don't even remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Someone with a beanie, right? Someone with a beanie.
He's had to have a beanie.
Yeah.
So you were skating with Tom Penny? like back then? Like,
No,
was he around
we would
when
see,
you guys?
yeah, we would see Tom Penny. It's what was that skate park in London? The one underground. It's in the Powell video. Curtis McCann does like Stalefish fakie over the hip.
Meanwhile,
Roger, you know,
PlayStation?
before PlayStation. This is way before.
a skate park.
Yeah, the skate park. I think it's in public domain or the one after public domain. Curtis McCann skating the skate park. Oh, I stumped Roger.
Wow.
Well, you don't
I mean, I'm
remember it
not
either.
from the UK.
No, I'm too dyslexic to remember any of that.
I can see the footage of Curtis.
Was that park? So I'd see Tom Penny there, and you definitely see. But what was funny was Tom Penny was chasing Alex Mole at that contest and copying all of his tricks. And I remember Alex Mole specifically like, "Dude, stop! Like, stop chasing! Like, stop
No
doing all
way.
my tricks! Stop coming up behind me and just
It's a little
doing
Xerox
my
machine.
tricks." Huh?
It's like a little Xerox machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, how long did you live in the UK for?
3 or 4 years.
Were you trying to get sponsored while you were out there?
Yeah, but
Because you were doing contests, so
a bit of both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely wanted to get sponsored, but it was mostly just go skate with your boys.
Who were you trying to get sponsored by? Were you trying to get like
It would have been Deathbox.
Deathbox? Yeah, but that never happened.
No.
Damn, dude.
I think we got, or I would get like discounts boards from Jeremy Fox.
Seconds.
Mhm.
He gave you a discount code for the website,
Yeah,
basically.
basically.
God damn. So you're in the UK for 3-4 years, and you move out here
Yes.
to the States,
Back to New Jersey.
back to New Jersey. So you spent your late teens, early 20s, and so on in New Jersey.
In New Jersey, yeah.
Okay. What was the scene like back then, too? Like, who was around? What years were we talking?
Did you meet Krolick there?
I did. And Krolick, and so
Joe Krolick.
I met Joe Krolick there. He was the first person that like, hey, kind of showed me like, oh, you can use these flashes and hook it up to your little Nikon camera, and started showing me how to like shoot photos because he was videoing, and so he was the video guy. So we're like, oh, we need to hang out with him so we can get videoed. So we'd always tag along with Joe Krolick, and so we'd be there, we'd skating with Pete Eldridge, Chris Cole, Jake Lewis, all those Philly guys, Pacadati.
Sick. So you had a good crew.
Mm-hmm.
You had a good crew. And when you moved out here now, I mean, you're already trying to take photos and stuff, or were you still trying to get sponsored? Like,
So
where was your mind at?
there was like a time where I was skating a lot of contests, and there was one contest called the Beast of the East, and so I skate those a lot.
Okay.
And then there was the finals, and I won that. And after that, once I won it, I had beaten, or there was like other pros in there, and like Dustin Dolan got third, Pete Eldridge was in there, you know, Chris Cole, like all these guys. And I remember like Mickey Reyes was there, and I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not getting sponsored. Might be time to pick up a camera or figure something else out to stay in skateboarding. And that was kind of like,
You felt like you were losing your edge or something?
well, I mean, you can see all these guys too, and you're just like, you know, I don't have the best style. Maybe I should pick up a camera and let these guys do it.
Was that like 96, 97?
I think so, yeah, about that.
Huh. And so Joe Krolick's the one who kind of showed you the way in photography.
Because he was shooting video, and then he got some settlement. He got a photo camera and started shooting photos, learning off of like Ryan G. And then I would kind of like ask him like, oh, so how do I do this? And like, oh my God, there's a big difference when you use a flash than when you just shoot a regular photo.
Yeah.
Where did you learn? Like, did you go to Love Park and stuff like that a bunch? Or?
Did go to Love Park. Not as much as I probably should have, but definitely went to Love Park a lot. Philly was always easier to get into than New York, so we'd go to Philly a lot. But I also liked skating a lot of transitions, so I'd go to Bricktown Skate Park and Cheapskate Skate Park and all the skate parks that were around that area.
So what was your first photo in a mag?
It was a donger photo doing an
No way.
Yeah, Ken Liu.
Wow.
I was interning at Big Brother, and
You were on the East Coast.
Because I came to California to do skate camp. So I was a skate camp counselor. And so while I was here, I was in San Diego. It was at Mission YMCA.
Okay.
And I had a camera, and somehow he let me shoot this photo. And it's him jumping with the braids going in the background. And so at the same time, I was also, Chris Narocco let me intern at Big Brother. So I'd go up there on Wednesdays and just help him do stuff. Once he tried to like...
Did you know him from Jersey?
I knew him from Jersey.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't remember him from Jersey, but when I called, he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you. I used to come skate your ramp." I was like, "Oh cool, could I intern?"
That's right.
Talk about somebody that's super funny.
Yeah.
He is a character.
He
is.
When
Oh,
he
yeah.
would get on the phone and I would like be packing boxes or something, I would just die laughing.
So wait, you had a ramp also in Jersey?
I did have a ramp in Jersey, yeah.
At your house?
hmm
Really?
So I had a story there that I probably shouldn't tell. My friend Dennis Spring told me not to tell this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
So we were younger, 16, 17, whatever the age was, going to the hardware store, and I got all the Surface. I had the money in my hand. We're walking out. This thing's heavy. We're pushing it out. My friend Damien is pushing it with me, and there's 2 cops at the entrance. My friend Damien just looks at me and goes, "Keep walking." I'm just like, "What?" He's like, "Walk out the door." I was like, "No." He's like, "You're walking out the door." And so right past the cops, we push all the sheets.
Like Masonite?
It was not even masonite, just like the wood, regular wood. 'Cause
Okay.
it rained so much there, and we just, I don't know, was it $3,000 worth of wood?
Wow.
Maybe now, and we walked right past the cops outside.
And started just loading it in the
Remember,
car.
I was under 18, so like, don't get.
I think the limitations is pretty. Well, you don't know how many people have sat here and been like, "Oh yeah, we go to the construction site and just
Steal the
steal
wood.
all the wood and push it down the street to their
I
house."
think every skater at that time did that.
Right.
That's pretty
right.
ballsy.
Yeah.
Like, imagine going to Home
very
Depot right
ballsy.
now and just doing that.
Oh my god.
It's terrifying.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but you got the ramp made.
Got the ramp made. Luckily, we did that too because we needed more money to get more wood.
Just walk up the door.
So you're going back and forth between New Jersey and California.
California at that time because I was also going to college, and then when I got that photo published, it was because I was at Big Brother interning. I give Kosick all my photos, like not edited. I'm like, "Hey, anything in here you want to use?" And I'm sure his eyes went like, "Yeah, no." So I took that folder and I picked out 2 photos that were in there, and I walked across the street to Skateboarder, where Jamie Owens was an intern and Mike Ballard was the photo editor. I'm like, "Hey, check out these photos. Here's these 2 that you might like." And he looks through them. He's like, "Yep, I'll take this and this." He took another Dustin Charlton photo and then goes, "Here you go." And he gives me this film, and it's a foot wide, 3 feet high of film. And I walk outside.
It's
and
a giant brick.
I call my friend. I'm like, "Oh my God, I have all this film and they're taking 2 photos. What do I do? Oh, this is so sick."
Go shoot more.
Did you feel? I mean, that's what basically they were telling you.
Yeah,
like just go shoot more. Keep submitting.
Yeah. What's funny is I tell Mike Ballard that story, or I tell it in front of him. He just looks at me. He's like, "I don't remember you, kid."
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, I talk to Mike Ballard like every day now.
I mean, back then, yeah, man. Did they want you to shoot photos in Jersey too, and bring them back?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
That's
all that.
everything.
So I'd be back on the East Coast, and
Yeah.
I'd try to go out with all the East Coast guys and
Right.
try to shoot as much as I could and send it over.
Okay.
Were you
But
just doing video? Or no, I'm sorry, just doing
Just
photos?
shooting photos. I didn't
No
shoot,
video.
I didn't shoot video until the last 5 years. Stacy was like, "Ooh, maybe you should pick up a video camera." I'm like, "Yeah, there's not many magazines left. I should definitely pick up a video camera."
Oh, okay, so that's recent. Okay. Yeah.
So when you're out in Jersey and you start to shoot photos with people, is there any companies you're trying to get in with, or like are you going out just with solo people, or are you trying to get in with like companies that go on tours?
I'm literally hitting up everybody.
Everybody.
It was left and right. So I got boards. Steve Rodriguez gave me boards from Fiveboro.
Okay.
I was just trash, and Westgate was flow trash.
Flow trash.
That's what they call
That's
it?
what they
Flow
call
trash?
it.
What is that? Flow trash?
That's what Steve would just call it, like
Yeah.
all your flow trash. It was just fun,
Like
he's
Don
just being-
Pierre was flow trash.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Wow. Okay.
And so I would hit him up like, who can I shoot, and then eventually was able to go on tour with them to England and
Wow.
Japan.
Okay.
The funny story in Japan, I was with Steve, Aaron Susky, Anthony Shetler, Josh Moretti, and we go, and it's so hot there. And we just got done skating, shooting, and he's like, "Oh, there's no showers, but we're going to go to a hot springs." We're like, "All right, cool. So we'll just go shower in the hot springs." He's like, "Yeah, but you can't go in there with clothes on." I was like, "You're kidding me." So we're all in the hot tub naked, just like, "Oh, don't touch me," like having fun. And then
It's like team bonding.
yeah. And then after that, I thought it was funny. We were sitting on buckets, like washing ourselves, And so, of course, me being the prankster, I filled up a whole bucket full of ice cold water and poured it on Susky and Chetler and all them. It was so funny until they did it to me.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And then we
I
took a
bet.
photo, naked, just holding our junk. And that was going to be the opening spread to the Big Brother, like, road trip. And at that time, Larry Flint's like, no, we're not doing that. So they cut that photo, put something else as
It seems like such a Big Brother photo.
Yeah,
but they were
dude.
they were trying to clean it up. I remember also at Big Brother, you remember when they sent out the Taboo magazine to everybody?
Oh, by mistake, right?
No.
Oh, they did it on purpose. I thought they got mixed up and sent it out by mistake.
That's what they said. And then I talked to somebody and they were like, no, we sent that on purpose.
No.
Wait, I don't remember this at all. What was
Somebody-
it?
So all the subscriptions
Yeah.
for Big Brother, they sent a Taboo porn mag.
Oh my god.
And then they said like, and then they sent the letter like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I'm so sorry. But they were just
It was
trying to get
all
some-
over the news afterwards.
Oh,
It was a publicity stunt. Pretty
They
much.
wanted to okay.
gnarly, dude.
Dude, Big Brother.
That'll get people talking.
Yeah, so that's funny that they turned that photo down. Like, that seems complete Big Brother.
Oh, 100% Big Brother.
Double
I
page
never,
spread.
And then they went out of business. I never got the photo back.
Because
No way.
nobody-
Josh Moretti has like a Polaroid of it, but it's like such a funny photo.
Listen, you did the first ice bucket challenge, man. Think about that. Think about that.
Started the cold plunge.
Crazy. Yeah. So would you say that like that Fiveboro, getting with those guys was like a big like break?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Everything that Steve did for me and all that stuff. Yeah, it was awesome.
That was like the first trips
Yeah.
you've been on as a skateboarder,
Trips, and
leaving
they
the country
took me
even.
Yeah, it took me to England, just hanging
Oh,
out
not
there.
leaving the country. I'm sorry. You've been all over the world before that. As a kid,
Yeah,
you would be a-
which it was
Yeah.
amazing. Kind of when you're a little kid and you're traveling that much, it's kind of like you're getting pulled out of school all the time. You're trying to make new friends. It's just like,
that must be rough.
kind of rough, but
Right.
I definitely would do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it hard for you to stop skating like that? Like just were you just like, I'm just gonna do photography from now on? That's
Well, I
literally
kept skating, just trying to shoot more, and then eventually you just find this love for like shooting photos, and you start doing that.
Yeah.
And then I became fat, and I was like, oh, I better skate again.
Because you weren't skating enough.
Yeah, we got to slim down. Got to slim down a little bit.
That's what I'm doing right now, trying to get out
Trying
2 to
to
3 times a week.
Get the
to go
mini ramp
skate.
bod back?
Yeah, mini ramp or the vert ramp at the Grosso ramp.
When did you actually make the move from Jersey over here?
I don't know. It was after college, so 97 or something.
Wait a minute, you're still going to college and doing all this stuff and shooting photos and traveling and stuff?
So I'm dyslexic as heck. So I was going to part-time college, full-time skating, and trying to shoot photos. So college took me, instead of 4 years, took me like 8.
Damn.
When you say dyslexic, you words are backwards
just-
and different things. Like you can't put a sentence together. How
I
does
won't
that
read
work?
I won't read as fast,
Okay.
and I definitely won't be able to spell. And thank goodness for ChatGPT.
It's almost like your spell checker.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, otherwise I'll just
So wait, when you're
I'll
trying to
hit
spell,
up my fiance
I'm-
and like, hey, please check this.
oh really?
If I'm sending an email to George or Michael or Billy, it's like she's checking it for sure.
But what's wrong with it though? When you're doing, I'm just interested.
Because
I've never
I can't tell that there's like I won't be able to tell that it's misspelt or like
B's and D's.
Yeah,
like, is
or-
it backward? Like I
no,
thought it was
it's
a
not,
back.
it's
no?
not backwards.
Okay.
It's just when I'm trying to write stuff down, I just get frustrated. I'm just like, hey, can you check this? Just make sure I got it good. Like
Yeah.
I have to read it like 3
To
times.
make sure the grammar's correct.
Did you get diagnosed with dyslexia?
I went to like special schools.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah. I was on all kinds of special schools. Like, oh, do this. Oh, help me. He gets extra time on tests and all that stuff.
Wow. So you were part-time college while you were going on these tours and doing all this
Part-time,
stuff.
yeah, full-time, trying to skate, trying to shoot photos,
Right. Now, were you weren't like full-time with these companies, were you?
No,
Like
no,
you
no.
were just going on
It-
trips with them and
I'm-
shooting and
yeah,
still submitting over here.
Yeah, and just trying to get ads or trying to get into Thrasher or
Mm-hmm.
Trans World or like any, just,
Was it hard to like make a living to support yourself at that point?
oh yeah, 100%. I had to live at home.
Yeah.
And then when I came out here, it was like sleeping on Joe Krolick's couch and then getting a room with like Dennis Martin and like just kind of bouncing around. And then had a room with like Cole Matthews. Just
It's a grind, right? I mean,
it's 100% a grind.
I mean, you're like doing the same thing a skater would do, but as a photographer, kind of, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I feel like back then, and what are we talking? Early 2000s, right? So back then photos were still worth something, right? So you would, if you got a photo with a company or a double page spread in a like that's pretty decent
Probably
money,
paid well then.
right? You got paid well.
You got
Especially
paid
if it was
really
like
well.
from a company.
There you go.
But try hitting up all these skaters and going out with them, and then getting to a spot, not getting kicked out, and trying to get that photo. It'd be like every 3 days you'd get something that's like, oh, the magazine's going to use it, or an ad's going to,
Yeah,
you
but you want to get that ad.
You want to get the ad to get
Yeah.
paid, but then you also want you want to be staff or Thrash or something like that, so you start giving them a lot of photos.
Right.
That way you have a steady check coming in too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's such a big help with a steady check.
Who was your first steady check?
Probably Fiasco Clothing. Like Garrett, it was like this
The
clothing company
hell?
out of LEI, 7 Jeans or LEI Jeans.
Fiasco
Yeah.
Clothing? Never heard of it.
Did Fabian write for it?
Fabian Gosen wrote
Yeah.
for it. First guy to do kickflip front feeble down a handrail.
That's right. That's right.
And then Garrett Hill wrote for it, and I'm forgetting who else.
Wow.
And so that lasted for like 3 months. And then
At least you got 3 months worth of pay, man.
oh, trust me, I was
God, how much was something like that back then in the early 2000s? What was like a paycheck, like a steady
I
pay?
don't know, $1,500
It's not bad.
maybe.
And then still submitting all these photos
And then
trying to
just grinding.
What happened after Fiasco?
It went pretty much to Powell Peralta, or like a break, and then Powell Peralta.
Really?
Or
And you
Powell,
were
Powell.
Powell.
And then, yeah.
so you were, so at this point in time, you're already living out here in California. You're staying with Joe Krolick.
By then, I was living with Cole Matthews.
Okay. Where was he at that point in time?
We were in Huntington.
No, but
No.
where was he working in the early 2000s?
He was working at 4-1.
Yeah, he was.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
Well, you've lived with some people that kind of like we're talking earlier that used to live, or Dennis Martin.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's like you could perfectly go, hey, what do you got going on today? I'm tagging on your session.
And that, I was so stoked that they were doing digital. I could go out with Weiss and Dennis, and just and they're like super easy to hang out with.
Dude, would you go out with like Appleyard and stuff when they were like filming certain digital videos?
Yeah, I was so stoked when they were like, "Hey, you want to come? I don't have a photographer." Yes, I do.
Wow.
Especially going out with Appleyard.
Yeah.
We were talking about earlier, like before the show, about you living with Dennis and going to El Toro. Like, would it always? You seem to be very. You shoot a lot of gnarly photos.
Back then, it was like, how do I get into the magazines? The easiest way was to shoot the gnarly photos, unless you went out with like the big name pros.
Mm-hmm.
So it was either or. So I tried to,
Yeah.
I don't know if Carlos Ruiz, if I asked him to do that, I think that was his idea, because he had done it down Wilshire a bunch of times. He's like, I want to do it down El Toro. And then we go to El Toro, and that was the first time that I was like, oh wow, like
This kid could die.
maybe we shouldn't be here. I'm kind of scared, like sitting there and waiting for it, because you were there.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Like sitting there and
break
waiting
it down. What how was the day? Like, did he call you up? He said, "Hey, I got what? Tell us the whole thing." This is great.
Man, I think I met him. I think I called Weiss, and then Weiss came, and then it was like,
Dude,
this
Carlos
is for
came with
digital?
it was for digital. Carlos came with his posse of homies.
Okay.
He came with a posse of homies. And on my end, like I had heard through the grapevine that he was going to try it, so I just went to watch. I don't
He
even
was
know
going to
this
try
dude.
what again?
Backlip El Toro.
Backlip El Toro.
But yeah, we showed up and
and it was 2 times, because the first time we sat there and we were watching, we were waiting for him. He's rolling up, and I'm getting more and more scared. And then finally he jumps, but he doesn't just jump to it. He jumps past the middle part. So he's gapping so far and does it, and then you watch him, you're like, oh, okay, full control, you can do this. And then he tried it another 10, 15 times, and then was like, okay, I can't do this, my foot hurts, I need new shoes. So he came back a couple of weeks later, and then he does it. And the funny thing is, I was trying to shoot, hoping to get a cover, but I was shooting with a Hasselblad, and during the day, shooting at 500th of a second, you're going to get a blurry photo. It wasn't digital, so I didn't know. So I gave my sequence camera to a kid who I don't know who it is.
Hey,
you didn't ask her his name.
And he shoots it and kind of holds it up in the air, shoots it, throws it down, goes to congratulate. I get the camera. I look at it later. I'm like, okay, the frames are kind of going sideways. So I'm going to have to do some Photoshop work. And that's what ended up in Skateboarder. It was nuts.
You didn't give the kid his credit?
I didn't even know who it was.
And the Hasselblad photo was done. You
The
couldn't use
Hasselblad
it?
photo was just
blurry.
and just like, I mean, I'm sure they would have used it if that's all they had, but they had the sequence so they could do a 2-page spread with that. There was another time I was shooting Jaws doing Stalefish down El Toro and waiting for Jaws. Some
Was
kid.
he naked or fully clothed?
Fully clothed.
Okay. Just making sure.
It's covered in shaving cream.
And we're waiting for him to do it. Some other kid comes down the ramp, falls, scorpions, and starts sliding. And everybody laughs. And then he gets up and it's full blood. And we're like, oh my God, we shouldn't have laughed. And it's like his whole chin, like at least an inch, 2 inches gash under it.
Dude.
And he's just kind of like holding it. And then there goes Jaws and does the trick.
While
While the kid got hurt rolling down like a
Jaws, he
handicap
didn't
ramp.
know though. Right?
No,
Jaws
he
probably
was
way
in,
back
no,
there.
Jaws
He
was
probably
in the
didn't see
zone,
it.
like didn't know about it at all.
Damn.
Yeah, it was nuts.
So you think that was the scariest you've ever been watching somebody skate? Because when they're doing big stuff like that's, listen, this is skateboarding, man. Like people can get hurt.
Oh, yeah, big time.
bro. Like,
Yeah,
is there any other scary moments, or was that the one you think?
So I was shooting Andrew Cannon in Arizona, and he blew out his knee. But he skated this hubba. I forget what trick he was trying, crook, back 50. He falls down and yells on the ground, and then he yells my name, and I freeze. I'm just like, what? And just kind of watching and just, like, oh, what just happened, And then walk over to him, He goes to the hospital, and he's like, yeah, I blew out my knee.
But that's not being scared watching somebody.
No.
That's like aftermath.
That's
right?
aftermath, yeah, that. And then when Charlie blew out his teeth and like almost cut his tongue
What?
off, that one was gnarly.
Who?
Charlie Blair. We were in Vegas, and he's skating this bump over electrical box. He jumps it. The board hits the box, bounces back into his mouth, takes his couple of teeth out, and then cuts his tongue to where it looks like it's almost off.
Just like hanging there.
Hanging there. And he just covers his mouth. We go to him, and he shows me his mouth. I'm like, holy shit, we got to get you to the doctor. Of course, we had to take a photo first. And Terry and me are like, hey, wait, let's take a photo. And he's
get
like,
a portrait real quick.
he's like, okay, I need to go now. So I don't even take the generator and lights, leave it there, take him to the urgent care, drop him off. I'm like, oh, good. All right, you're there.
He's in good hands.
He calls me, come get me. This place won't take me. So I'm 10 minutes away. I got to drive back to go get him and then bring him to the real hospital.
You had to bring him to the ER for that.
ER. Yeah, I didn't know he
Urgent care's not the best to go to at that
They
point.
ain't gonna
We-
sew a
and-
tongue back on.
Yeah.
No, and the tongue looked like it needed to be sewn on. So we get him to the hospital, and he was kind of freaking out. But as soon as he sits down in the chair at the hospital, he calms down. And then we go inside. He gets the morphine, and he's like, "Oh fuck it, you want to take some more photos? Let's go."
he was ready to go. Yeah. Did they have to stitch his tongue back on?
No,
what happened?
No. Unless it's like so severe, they won't stitch it. And like there was 4 doctors. Like we kept saying, like we need to stitch this back, and they're like, no, you're good. And another doctor came. No, it'll heal.
Really?
Yeah. It was nuts because it was, it wasn't hanging on as a thread, but it was pretty. It was pretty off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
How do you treat that? Like,
They just left it.
just put a bandage around your tongue?
No bandage, nothing. Like
Probably
it'll heal
Probably
fast
just
because it's
grows
in your
back.
mouth.
Yeah. It just grows back. probably.
Saliva
I have
helps.
no idea. Does it?
Yeah.
No.
Everything in your mouth heals up quicker. You ever notice that?
I guess I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saliva. Got to thank God for that.
Bite your cheek. Bite your cheek. The next day, it's good. Bite your arm. It'll take 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so
Soak your arm in saliva.
yeah, geez, I've tried, Rush. No, I'm just kidding. So that was the scariest you've been, you think? Carlos Ruiz, back lip.
When
El
you
Toro.
don't know if somebody can do it or not, it's definitely more scary than if you're like watching.
Like you'd never seen this kid skate.
No,
I had an experience
Barely-
like that with Jason Jones.
Oh really? Yeah, because he's
When he
gnarly.
tried to when he board slid the Heath rail at
UCI?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I don't know this kid. I'm not going to film him die right now. So I went back to the van and just chilled.
Really?
Did you give your camera to somebody else, or did somebody
Yeah.
else film it?
Someone else did it.
And he
you
did it.
did.
You did it.
He did it.
I was in the van for like 3-4 hours.
Oh God.
I was just waiting.
So what? Did he try it a long time, or is just trying to get like the balls to do it?
I have no idea. I wasn't even.
He was in the van.
I went in the van and just like left. I'm like, I just met this kid today. Like, I don't know what he's capable of.
Of all the stuff you filmed, man, like Bam Viva La Bam stuff, like all the crazy shit. That's
I know.
funny. Yeah. Like, oh, no, board slide, I'm good.
Hey, dude, that rail is no joke.
Is it still there?
He's like, want to go try to get someone to go skate it?
I also felt like he was trying to take Heath out in a way.
Well, I
Really?
think- I don't.
With a board slide?
I don't. I think he wanted to get the recognition because Heath tried that. At that time people were doing that.
Yeah.
I obviously board slide is not as good as a lip slide.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's taking him out, but he wanted to hit that rail.
He wanted to.
He wanted to do that, but yeah. I mean, that's why we always. I mean, you shoot some of the gnarliest skating. How do you go about like presenting spots to people? Like, because you must have a crazy spot book that probably doesn't look like skate spots.
I definitely used to.
Yeah.
I found it a couple months ago. It was pretty
Really?
gnarly. Just all the photos and then addresses on the back, and then I'd be like, "Here, Jordan Hoffart, where do you want to go?" And I would just give it to him. Now I'm like, "Hey, where do you want to go on the spot book?" I kind of ask them. Now, I mean, also back then, I would just ask them like, "Where do you want to go?" And then if they would say like, "Oh, I want to back nose blunt El Toro," I would push on that.
They claimed it, yeah.
You're like, I guess you're like, you
And
know
then
their
they'd be like,
talent too.
Oh, wait. You know,
Yeah.
Jordan Hoffart definitely has told me like, "Man, I'm glad we got kicked out because I really didn't want to try that."
Didn't he get knocked out?
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was horrible.
happened?
Digital video, Get Tricks or Die Trying.
Okay.
I forget which one it was. But we're in San Pedro, and he's skating this rail, and he makes it, but he's like, "I don't like the way I landed it." So he goes back, and his feet fall off, and he just falls onto his back and hits his head and gets knocked out. There's a lady there, like, yelling at us. Dennis was there. He wakes up, take him. I'm like, okay. We start going to the hospital, and just the whole time was like, what happened? What did I do? And it just repeats after
That's
a minute and a
scary.
minute, and the longer it's
just
taken to get to the hospital, the scarier it's getting. To
Wow.
Didn't remember anything.
no,
He was
he
okay.
didn't remember anything till like maybe that night. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Usually,
Head injuries, man. We just had Huberman on the show. We were talking about CTE and all that stuff. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I've been knocked out a couple of times.
Have
It's
you?
It's not fun, especially when you're like you get knocked out and then you wake up that night and you're just like, oh, like what happened to like the last 6 hours?
Dude.
It's horrible.
I'm freaked out when I go into the other room and I can't remember what I came in there for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, I'm getting Alzheimer's or something.
Is that Lions band you've been taking?
I know, I stopped taking it. Okay, so now you get the job at Powell. We covered that in the beginning of the show, right? You applied one time, didn't get it,
Yep.
then applied the second time because somebody left. Who was the first person that got it and
I
left?
think
Olsen?
Eric Olsen got it.
Eric Olsen.
Yeah, and then he went to Slap.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you applied the second time, now
Yeah.
did you know all those guys down at Powell? Like, how
I
did that
knew
work?
I think how I got introduced because I was shooting Rodney Jones, and then I made Rob Washburn, and then I came to California, and I started calling every company saying, "Who do you have that I can shoot photos of?" And Washburn would give me like Fabian Gostin and like his Bones Riders, and I would just keep calling, trying to go out and like skating with all of them.
Okay. And then Powell just was there.
And then I heard about Powell, started talking to Michael Furukawa, and eventually got the job there.
how does one apply? Like, what are you doing? Are you just going in there and be like, hey, I'd like to have that job? Or are you giving a
resume?
A resume?
Yeah.
Are you giving them a portfolio?
Chris has
Are
never
you-
had a job, by the way.
Yeah,
So.
listen, I was a milkman at the health food store. Yep.
I definitely had a kind of a resume. I remember my friend Neil Alonzo wrote like a whole thing, like, oh, I would do this, and like you would help me write because I was dyslexic and couldn't do it.
No chat GPT back
So I was
then.
like, he was my chat GBT. But mainly it was because I was shooting photos, and that's what they were looking for to get more of the guys into the magazine. So that's how come I was in the running.
You got hired as a photographer.
Yeah,
That's it.
If you're a team manager, you probably should nowadays film.
Oh, they hired you for everything?
Yeah,
Photographer, team manager.
photographer and team manager.
Oh.
Yeah. So
A lot of
basi-
people do that.
No, I know. I
Yeah.
just thought you were. They hired you for a photographer.
No.
And then you transferred him over.
Team manager first, and then both at the same time.
So you'd never been team manager before,
No,
right?
No.
Now, is it on you to put people on, or just take care of the guys? Like, what's a job description? What did they want from you?
The first thing we did was, set up a trip. Let's go to Florida. And so I had to organize a trip, plan, do all that. Shoot photos, find riders. There was already team established at that point, so we just went out there, and then Michael Furukawa kind of came with to see how is he acting, and
Okay.
what's his personality like.
You want to make sure they got the right guy.
Yeah.
Right. How did that trip go? Went good?
Yeah, trip went good. It was an article in Skateboard Mag.
Okay. Do you miss these mags? Do you miss that there's no... I mean, it was such a thing, dude. Going on a tour, getting the photos, having an article come out in magazines. Like, it was such a cool era, dude.
It was.
Now it's just like...
You can still do it.
You can, but
Instant
there's only one
gratification.
mag.
Yeah.
Good luck getting in Thrasher if they got all 8 tours going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a free skate mag or like some European magazines.
True. But there was a lot back then.
Yeah, it was a lot
Yeah,
easier.
it was cool.
And back then, if you to become AM, I would be like, hey, if you want to become AM and get paid, you get 6 photos in 6 months in a magazine. And so we would go out, and those guys were able.
Wow.
They were all able to do it.
That's actually really awesome.
Yeah.
Did you give them a goal and something they can understand to go do?
Yeah.
Because sometimes people don't know how to go about
Right.
getting on the
And then
team.
some guys would fall at the cracks, wouldn't be able to do it. Maybe wanted to party instead. But like all those guys in fun, they all did the same thing.
Was there anyone you gave exception to? You're like, man, I really believe this kid's talent.
I can't remember right now.
No, because you're saying like Joslin or something, but like, was Joslin just like a different?
Joslin was still like a little kid, and like he never made it to AM.
But you
They're,
saw
they're
it,
still
yeah.
pretty much all doing the same thing. 'Cause
Okay.
It's just like, oh, now you have that label of becoming an AM.
When you're going on tours with these people and you have to, you're booking hotel rooms and everything, any mischievous stuff going on? Any, you know what I mean? Like, listen, skaters, they used to mess up hotel rooms and stuff like that. Like, it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to hear the Andy story?
Andy Anderson?
The pee in the helmet.
Go ahead. What happened with him? Well, go ahead.
So Andy's more of a freestyler. He gets thrown into this trip. We're doing this trip. Let's go skate trip. And next thing I know, Andy Anderson's there. We're like, who is this kid with the helmet? And what's funny is I saw Andy at a Volcom contest maybe 3 to 6 months earlier. And I was like, man, this kid's really good. Maybe I could put him on and get him to take off his helmet. Mistake number 1. And then I was like, well, he's from Canada. I don't know if I can hook him up. And I just kind of let it go. Next thing I know, 6 months later, he's in the van with us.
Well, how did you
Because
not
George
know
was-
that? How did you just show up?
Well, I knew somebody was coming, and George just wanted him to be a part of it.
So George is the one that like, hey, this guy's going with
Yeah.
you. So it was like, did he kind of overstep your like? Not overstep,
Not
but
really
like,
overstep. It was just like, hey, he's coming. Well, you know what? So you're coming. Let's do it.
cool, okay.
I think Kevin Harris showed Andy Anderson to George, and they saw him. We're like, yes, let's hook this kid up. And Powell Peralta kind of supports like all the facets of skateboarding.
Yeah, for sure.
Longboarding,
Downhill.
street, downhill, you name it.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Okay.
And so now this kid's on the trip, and I was like, man, he's got a helmet. And so the guys, there was half the guys started like not torturing, but hazing him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guys were just like, oh no, he's cool. And I actually asked my brand manager, Billy Backer, if I could tell this story. And he's like, dude, I used to be on Shut. I got in the van. Man, Coco Santiago spits on me. I turn around to hit him, and then Sheffy's like holding me off. You know what? After that, I went to SF and I stayed with Coco Santiago. We're still like we were like the best of friends. Like
Yeah.
you got hazed, and that's just it.
Yeah, I think Andy told the story when he was on the show the first time about the hazing.
About the
that went on.
hazing.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool. It was cool the way he handled it, because he would just be like, oh, you're going to take my helmet this time and like throw it on the roof? You know what? I'm going to skate 5 miles and I'm going to find another helmet at the Army surplus store. He comes back. He has that helmet for a couple of days. And then
There's no stopping him.
somebody pees in it. Gets rid of that helmet. Goes to a construction site, finds a helmet. And then, somebody puts that underneath the van. I drive back over it. I didn't do it on purpose, but I did realize, I was like, oh, it's either a skateboard or a helmet,
no.
And all of these things, I didn't know they happened until later. Team manager always finds out later, because Andy's mom always comes up to me. She's like, man, can't believe you peed in my son's helmet. I'm like, Martha, I didn't pee in Andy's helmet, but I also didn't stop it. No, but seriously, I wouldn't know about that until later that night.
Later, right. Wow.
What else did they do?
What do you mean you didn't stop it? Is that you didn't know that it happened? Is that what you mean?
I didn't know that it happened till later, but I
Okay,
also
okay.
didn't
There was
yell
no
at the
supervision.
I didn't yell at the guys, but I also Martha, Andy's mom, was like, "Oh, I can't believe you wouldn't like let him stay in your room in like the non-party room. You like pushed him to the lion's den." And when she said that to me, I was like, "Oh, wait, I didn't do that. I put him in the party room because I wanted him to be accepted by all the boys. Like I did it for a good reason because I wanted all the guys to like him." And I remember Charlie went out with him one night and comes back and he's like, "Man, I hung out with Andy. He's all right."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you hang out with Andy for a little bit, and he's the best dude.
He's fun.
He's great.
And then, so on that trip, he was getting hazed so much, but the crew that was hazing him, he was just like, "All right, cool." And then they got mad because he was just like cool with it and just nice about it.
Right.
And so we go on that trip, and then later he comes and stays at my house for a week. And I'm just like, "Man, this is the best dude ever." And my girl's like, "Dude, how can you like not like this?" I was like, "Well, because I'm trying to be cool." But I'm not.
Right. But back then, listen, Andy came in. He's definitely like changed the way that people like look at it. Nobody was wearing helmets weren't. It's very frowned upon, right? It's not a. It's
Unless
not
you're on a
thing.
vert ramp.
Huh?
Unless you're on a vert ramp.
Unless you're on a vert ramp. So and plus, it's I don't know. I love Andy's tenacity on dealing with stuff like that and doing, just he's been himself the whole time, and everybody now like loves him.
Yeah. he's
That's what's
fucking
great.
awesome.
He's great.
That trip was kind of like, Dan Corrigan pointed it out. He's like, that trip was kind of like the industry not liking him and now accepting him, That's how that trip went.
Right.
Yeah, it's been funny to watch the industry genuinely like turn into loving him.
Yeah.
It's been pretty
It's
fun to
crazy.
watch from, but I think it's cool that he kept his helmet on and not necessarily set some trend. He wasn't starting to set a trend. He was just doing him and he's just still doing it. It's not like I proved my point. That's it. It's like he still doesn't care. No one else wears helmets.
No.
He just does his thing.
Well, you can't get them either. He's tried to make them, but they can't legally it's going to cost a lot of money just to get that helmet made. So
Is there like regulations? Probably the regulations
yeah.
of making helmets,
I
right?
was talking to Andy about it. He's like, "Oh, it costs $50,000 just to make this." You probably have to ask him more. He'd be able to explain the
I
whole
thought he
thing.
has a helmet company.
No,
I thought
he
that was
doesn't.
his helmets. No?
Mind control? Isn't
Yeah,
that what
yeah.
it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no helmets to sell, or he sold a couple of them, but there's no like.
He just made them for himself, pretty much.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wonder what would happen
Interesting.
if those helmets were made.
Yeah,
it's like-
I didn't even think about helmets being regulated like that. Huh.
Yeah, it's probably no safety.
I mean, his helmets look better than a Pro-Tech or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's in it. I don't know if there's probably cushion.
Well,
in there.
his helmets stand out different than a regular
Yeah.
traditional
big time.
skateboard helmet. It doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that helmet on, he gets recognized everywhere.
Oh
It's
yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
hanging out with him in Venice, I'm like, yo.
It's
Or we went
nuts.
to X Games. I was like, hey, put my hoodie on so we can like walk over here.
He's definitely like transcended skateboarding. Like he has a fan base that doesn't even skate.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Who's a musician that hit him up?
Machine Gun Kelly?
No,
Or no?
no. We went to his house and did some kind of music video. But the other one of that techno song, Sandstorm, the techno song. What's the artist's name? Come on, somebody.
Look it up.
I don't know.
If you look up, just play that song Sandstorm, you can be like, oh, I know this song.
Yeah, I know. I think I know the song you're talking about. I don't know who the artist is though.
Huh. So what happened? They
Or just people outside of skateboarding like following him. But
Right.
that guy also skates.
Oh,
and,
he
like,
does?
has an Andy board. Yeah,
Sick.
gets him in the contest or shows and stuff.
Darude?
Darude, yeah, Darude.
I don't want to play
not-
it because of copyrights.
Yeah, not my
Oh,
type of
yeah,
music.
yeah.
Not my genre.
If there's only one techno song that you know, that's the song.
that's a song.
Yeah.
Like it's a jock jam type thing.
You'll know the song.
You know what song I'm
Chris
talking
knows
about,
about the
Kelly.
jock jams. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that-
Are you ready for this? No.
Crazy Frog.
Oh, I got a question.
Go.
Can I ask
go
you guys
ahead.
a question?
Please.
course.
Please.
Kelly, who's your favorite skater?
What do you mean? Why?
What do you think? It's a trick question?
It's not a loaded question. I ask a lot of people.
Oh, so I would say probably PJ Ladd.
What
PJ
stance?
Ladd?
Yeah,
What stance is he?
he's regular.
What stance are you?
Goofy.
Eric Costin. He's goofy. I'm regular.
I already asked you.
Yes, and he's just my favorite skateboarder.
He's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
Who's your favorite skater?
You've asked me before.
I did.
Day one.
Day one.
Day one.
That's right.
Do you know what stance he is, Raj?
Goofy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite skater?
Well, it was Day one, but he tried to steal John Bradford, so he became number 2, and Westgate became number 1. But then recently, I was like, you know what? Ray Barbie's the one that kind of like public domain. I was super inspired, by his tricks. So it's
Ray Barbie.
Ray Barbie in that order. Ray
What
Barbie,
stance is he?
Goofy,
And you are?
regular.
Okay. Why do you ask what stance they are and what they?
'Cause
What's interesting about that to you?
It seems sometimes, a lot of time, people would pick opposite stances.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I had to really think about the stances. Manny Santiago would be, well, if you don't know his stance, is he really your favorite skater?
Well, yeah, that's for sure. If you don't know your favorite skater stance,
Yes.
that's pretty nuts.
Does that count if I'm dyslexic?
Do you see people skating different ways?
He sees people skating backwards all the time.
But I'm being honest, though. Do you see that differently?
I don't think I would know or be able to tell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what stance is Ray Barbie? I know what stance Ray Barbie is, but what stance is Ray Barbie?
Goofy.
Okay, yeah.
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 But he rides backwards, so he's regular.
Oh, so all those skaters you named are all goofy?
Yeah, and that wasn't
Yeah.
on purpose.
Oh.
Really?
That they were goofy. They just happened to be. I mean, Westgate's just a cool kid. He used to stay at my house. I would be trash and he'd be flow trash on Fiveboro. Daewon's just amazing. And then the Ray Barbie with the no complies and like influencing me at the early age.
Right.
It's just so rad.
How funny is it that your first video was probably Powell, right?
Mhm. Public domain, I think.
And then now you work for Powell.
Yeah. I'd watch it on Betamax because my friend, it's not Roger, it's Roger Prim.
Okay.
Because in England it would be Roger,
Oh.
instead of Roger. I feel weird like saying his name as Roger. I'd be like, oh, Rog, what
Yeah.
you doing?
Roger.
Roger.
He let me borrow his Betamax, and I would just watch that before I'd go to school at like 5 a.m. every day.
Wow.
Got to like borrow it for like a week or 2.
So we're working for Powell.
Mm-hmm.
You get the job. You're going on trips. You start filming for fun right away, or no?
No,
That was later?
Yeah, it was later.
Okay.
And just kind of build,
Inching your way
get
in
the,
there.
Get the team. There's a lot of guys that kind of fell through the cracks, and guys that stuck, and then keep. Once you see like they have like half a part, then you keep trying
Chipping
to get
away.
them out more to get trying to finish that part.
And did you keep taking photos, and then because you started filming at a certain point too?
Way later.
Way
I mean, like
later.
5 years. 5.
Who was filming back then?
Terry LaRue, Jared Lucas, who lived upstairs
Jared
here.
Lucas, yeah. Okay.
And then just a bunch of random people
Okay.
that would just come along the way and try to hit up people. But like Jared and Terry really, filmed a lot of it. Joe Krolick a little bit. Joe Krolick edited it.
Joe Krolick edited Fun.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
he did.
Oh wow.
I tried to get Ricky Biedenbach, and then
Yeah.
Ricky went to Element, and then Joe was like, "What the hell, man? You're just gonna throw me under the bus like that?" I'm like, "You always make fun of Powell, like, and now you want to edit?" He's like, "Yeah, man, fucking that'd be sick."
There's a paycheck
Because
involved.
Joe
job,
Krolick
yeah.
always talks crap, right?
Does he? Oh my God. So working for Powell now, are you changing the team up? Are you like team manager has to be like the most?
Constantly looking for new riders.
That's it.
Going to contests, whatever. I mean, I remember going to Castle contests and seeing Isaiah Johnson and hooking him up. And then Boo Johnson was there, and I was like, oh, well, I don't want to leave him out. So I'm going to put him on Mini Logo, and I'll put Isaiah on Powell. And
Boo Johnson.
yeah. And so they would just come start staying at my house. And Terry was
He's
telling
from that era, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
from Tehachapi. So Terry like told me about them before, but until I saw them, I was like, oh, these guys are sick. And so they'd come stay at my house. And then eventually, real quick, Boo was just such a hard worker that he just got on Powell then. And then obviously now he is what he is.
He's
'cause
great.
He's such a hard worker.
Yeah.
Just always had to be getting it.
He's a great guy too. Very, very nice guy.
How do you think is it mostly at contests? What about sponsor me tapes? A lot of kids sending sponsor tapes back then?
Yeah, sponsor me tapes. Not some, more going to contest back then. Now it'd be like scouring people's Instagrams or word of mouth, and still going to contests.
Who was the last person you put on?
Last person I put on is Isaac, and he's not. Well, he's on the team page. I still have to pie him.
You just have to what?
Well,
You gotta put a pie in his face.
Yeah, you didn't.
okay.
You sound like disgusted.
So there's a process. Right now, you get a photo, you get an ad, you get on the team page. Basically, if you're already going out with the guys, you're pretty much on.
Okay.
It's just I'm trying to get you to get an ad for more incentive to get on the team page. And then once you're on the team page, or beforehand, I'll pie you without you realizing it. Which kind of sucks for me because I always get full of pie.
We are talking about a pie.
Yeah, pie. It's whipped cream.
Whipped cream. Okay. And that's your little.
I think I'm going to start using
The initiation.
That's your little go-to.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, God damn. I was at apple pie, blueberry, but it's just whipped cream.
Whipped cream. Yeah.
Okay.
Not shaving cream because that burns your eyes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's easier to get out and it doesn't smell so bad. So Vaughn just told me about some vegan whipped cream that we can, so hopefully it won't smell so bad because it like sits in my car all day and I don't know when to.
Oh, I feel like shaving cream doesn't smell that bad, like Barbasol.
Shaving cream's the best. But
Yeah.
they don't want me to use it because it burns their
burns
eyes.
eyes.
Yeah, you get a pot of shaving cream to the face,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh.
Destroy your eyes.
No, I'm just. I thought you said it doesn't smell good, but shaving cream smells.
Yeah, no, it smells good. That's the
I haven't
best
used
one.
shaving cream in
you can just
years,
wash
man.
It's like soap. You can just wash it off.
Yeah.
Or you can shave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use electric.
Yeah, me
Use
too
electric.
now. Yeah.
No.
You straight Bic?
Yeah.
Bic your face?
Mhm.
Damn. We got to talk about Powell nowadays, right? Because like you said, you put Isaac on recently. Just got on the team page, hasn't been pied yet. But Powell has definitely gone in an interesting direction with the social media type skateboarders that are around and YouTube skateboarders that are around, like Nigel Alexander, Dan Corrigan. I mean, everybody's getting in the YouTubing game. You got Christopher Hyatt. You got
Zach Doling.
yourself, Zach Doling. Who am I? Andy Anderson has a channel, but he doesn't really post too much.
Yeah,
but
everybody else wants to post him. It's like he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Right. How did that come about? Kind of curating this kind of YouTube type team.
The necessity to keep putting footage out, and instead of spending so many dollars on a big video project, now it's like, hey, let's put out stuff every week, every month. Just quicker content.
Are you guys going to work on bigger projects too as you go, or not at the moment?
Well, you just said the Andy part, right? So
The Andy part, there was a Lucas part. John Bradford's working on a part.
But that Lucas part was nuts.
Yeah. So solo parts, basically.
Solo parts. I'm working on Thrasher Edit right now.
Okay.
Deadline September, so if the writers are listening to this.
they're finding out.
Whoa. Weird.
It's coming up quick.
Yeah.
We can make this happen.
Yeah.
September what? What's the deadline? What's the deadline?
30th.
30? Okay. You heard it here first,
Yeah.
folks. So it was just the necessity of content, basically.
Yes.
And
And
then-
getting that out, and then
But who kind of like spearheaded that? Because you have Nigel Alexander, right? He's a YouTube like OG in the game,
big time.
right? Like started the whole goddamn thing. And then Dan Corrigan kind of came in, 3 years ago, something like that, 3-4 years ago.
yeah, Dan Corrigan came in.
With,
Well, I didn't-
with his YouTube stuff.
What's funny is I didn't sponsor him for YouTube. I sponsored him because I saw him at Vans, and I was like, I like the way you skate. Can I hook you up with boards? Sure. And he started coming out. And then he calls me one day. He's like, oh, I'm quitting and going to Revive. I got bad news for you. I'm on the phone. I'm like, damn, that's actually really good news. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, you're going to go over there and you're going to learn. Now you're going to be able to teach me all the stuff that you're learning over there.
All the YouTube
Yeah,
tricks.
I was like, let's look at it like that, instead of me burning his footage.
Well, you can't put it on YouTube anymore.
Well, he's putting his own footage out
That's
now.
right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
And so he went over there and was like, still skating with us all the time. He's like, well, can I come back? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then he started becoming this beast where he's just posting every day.
Every day.
Who does that?
He does. It's insane.
It's pretty wild.
It's wild.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
But I feel like he has got it down to a science, I feel like he can go out and film like 2 or 3 episodes a day, sometimes.
Yeah, now he's doing longer ones too. But yeah, usually when he comes out with us, he films 2, sometimes
Right.
3.
Huh.
Maybe he's done 4 in one day.
But how did this,
Yes.
so going back to like the spearheading thing, was Nigel Alexander a part of, because he started working for Powell, right?
He did.
So was he kind of like the catalyst of like getting, but then were also people like starting YouTube channels at the same time, maybe like Christopher Hyatt and Zach Dolan and stuff
It definitely
like
was
that?
something that I saw and I was like, hey, Chris, Zach, you guys should start doing this, And then we started inviting Nigel to come into the van. more, and just kind of doing it, and then I'll collect footage and give it to Micaiah to like edit, so we can put out one thing on the Powell channel. Just keep pushing, try to create content, hopefully getting it better, and trying to figure it out, because it's just so new. What's going to work, what's not going to work. How do we lay this out?
Right.
Do you have like some sort of like incentive-based program?
We don't. Well, yeah, there's a couple of guys that get paid just to help them to do it. But it's not like, hey, you have to do it, and
like
this
you get
or
this
that.
amount of views and you get this.
What do you mean?
I'm thinking about photo incentive stuff, like it used to be, obviously.
Or just like goals, like, hey, get this many subscribers.
Yeah, because you said earlier before, if you want to be AM, you get 6 photos in 6 months.
In 6 months to become pro.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of looking at them going, okay, what is your reach, whether you become pro or like, to the next step.
Yeah.
To where...
So is that based off of reachness now, why you're turning people pro?
It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
It's something that, well, it would be, I would just point that towards Billy Backer, the brand manager, like, hey, can we turn him pro? Is this the right time?
Is there a demand for him?
Is there a demand? Or is skateboarding even, like right now, skateboarding is not really selling. So like now's a bad time to turn pro.
Yeah. I guess that's always been it, right? It's always been if there's a demand for the board.
Yeah. Mike Fraser told me when he got his board, skateboarding just went down. And didn't sell. It was hard to sell his board because of that time. Skateboarding was just down, not because Mike Fraser was the best.
He had a great graphic though.
You guys have been doing this kind of collaborative YouTube thing. Have you guys seen any like the needle moving over at Powell because of all this?
It's definitely helped.
Yeah,
maybe our egos too, because kids will come up to us now, which is weird. How do I say this? So I went to England a year ago, and my homie Damien was like, "You need to make another video, like, do this, do that, like, start making videos." And we would go to 2 skate parks a day, go skate. At the end of the 10 days, he saw that kids were coming up to me and just be like, "Oh, I see you," like not recognize me, but recognize me from Dan's channel. Be like, "Oh, I saw you on Dan's channel." And I'd get like 2 groups of kids coming up and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And then at the end of the 10 days, he's like, "Oh, okay, I see what you're doing."
Right.
It's working.
Right.
So I have another story. When we were at Woodward, and Dan Corrigan, Christopher Height, and Zach Doling are there, and kids are coming up to them and asking for autographs and pictures and stuff like that. But on the ground, sitting next to him is Clive Dixon, the gnarliest skater ever. Nose blunt slid, Staples Center.
Crazy.
But the kids are coming up to these guys who are doing, maybe doing a little bit more social media, but goddamn, like, that Clive Dixon's right there. Maybe,
And they're like, who?
Yeah, like this is a gnarly dude.
Gnarly
Clive
dude,
like crazy
One,
parts.
imagine doing that trick.
I will say this about the YouTube universe, though, because I feel like skateboarders live on Instagram is our platform.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Skateboarders, right? It's like you got X, it used to be Twitter. There's a little skate stuff going on there. You got TikTok. Yeah, there's some skaters. It's different stuff on there, but I feel like TikTok don't like skateboarding. Instagram's our shit, right? But YouTube is coming into the fold also.
I think so.
Which is good because you can actually build a community there, right? I don't know if you could build a community on TikTok. I don't know if you could build, like, you could really build a community and like fan base. I hate the word fans, but you could build that on YouTube. You could talk to people. They leave in comments. They feel like they get to know you personally because of the videos that you're posting. So I understand fully why they're coming up to Christopher Hyatt rather than Clive Dixon, because Clive Dixon's not on YouTube. He's not putting his life out there, but Christopher Hyatt is. So the kids relate to that. They're like, oh my God, they probably know stuff about him that he doesn't even know about him.
Yeah.
And that he's totally forgot that he's put in videos. It happens to me all the time. They're like, oh my God, remember that time? I'm like, no, I don't. I've done 1,000 shows. I don't remember shit.
Do you know what's the coolest thing is that in these community, like YouTube community, is that they get to meet friends that like the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they genuinely create like this bond between other people they've never met, and then they get to like Christopher Hyatt. They might not know Christopher Hyatt, or they know him of him, but they meet other people that like him too. That's pretty cool.
That's true.
Yeah. We have people on the 9 Club, like Ashley Phillips and, all these
old buddies.
The old buddies, and they all, they get to meet each other. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they form like their own little community, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you have like a Discord or something that you could really bring people together.
And the chats.
Yeah, if you have like a live or premiere or something like that. So it's definitely more personable. The problem with YouTube though is like some people just don't want to do it, and I completely understand
it takes
that.
a certain personality for sure,
Dude, I do my little channel, and sometimes I do like a little vlog thing, but I don't want to do it all the time, man. It's not in my DNA. I'm a more private person. Like,
it's
I'm
fun
just,
when you do that.
It's fun, right?
Yeah.
But I can't, like the Dan Corrigan thing, going out every day, like putting out a video every day, like once a week seems daunting. Like we put out a once a week show here, and it's
work.
It's work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's a problem though with YouTube. And I just tell skaters like, dude, you post everything on Instagram, just take those clips, make a little montage,
shorts,
put them on YouTube, because you're going to eventually build, because it's a grind.
Yeah.
YouTube's a grind.
You can archive all your stuff.
That's right.
Archive, but it's also like, doing a lot of work.
Dude, it's a grind. Man. You're gonna. I mean, like you got to start. You could be a popular skateboarder, but you're gonna start at like 1,000 views, 500 views.
That's the thing that deters people.
It can hurt your ego a little bit. You know,
big time.
like, oh fuck, and then people think, well, should I put my new part on YouTube? Should I put my new part on my channel, or should I put it over here? Thrasher, I'm guaranteed at least 60K, but over here on my channel, I only have 30,000 subs. Maybe should I?
But if the skating's good enough,
I mean,
Don't
bro,
get
the
the views.
algorithm is the content.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
And there's no rule book on how to turn pro.
No.
Yeah, not anymore. Like there used to be somewhat,
Somewhat.
but now
But now there's different ways to do it.
yeah. Did you when you saw this YouTube thing coming into play? What were your thoughts? Because like us, the skateboarding back in the day wouldn't really like the YouTube. Why would you promote yourself on your own channel? Like almost everyone would think that way back. What were your thoughts when this started to happen?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what does George and Stacy think about it? Mainly Stacy, I want to know. Because, like, if you think back to, like, public domain, ban this, like, a lot of those sessions were pretty much what YouTubers do now. It's like they went out, shot one day, made an edit.
And then put it, and that's what Stacy would do back in the day. And, well, I would talk to the old guys, and they were like, oh, yeah, Stacy came out for one day, and we did. I was like, wait, you filmed that whole?
Yeah.
You're kidding me. He's like, yeah, Stacy, we filmed what we could do, and that was it. And that's kind of what we're doing now.
Right.
So I'm just trying to be like Stacy.
It's just
I mean, I think I kind of came to that realization later on. I was like, wait, I'm just trying to be like Stacy and everything that he's doing. And try to like, oh, what would Stacy do? You know?
Yeah, he laid the groundwork.
So it's like, oh, maybe I can be half as good.
I think it's just an interesting thing, because like we come from a generation too that it's like we don't put ourselves out there like that. We do maybe a written interview or this and that, and now we're like,
this is so different.
It's so different, right?
Yeah, why did we always feel like we needed someone else to validate like putting us out there? We
Because
always
that's the way it was, though.
Yeah,
like, the
but
company
That's
was.
how you climb the ladder.
Yeah, the companies
Yeah.
were responsible for getting you out there, advertisements, doing this, lining up a video, like doing, and now it's like on the skater to help the company.
Yeah, you
it's,
can
it's
become
flipped.
your own brand.
It's flipped,
Yeah.
which is fascinating to me,
And we're still learning about it.
bro.
Yeah.
What's amazing? You guys are. I always amazed because you guys have such a history in skateboarding, obviously, and you have what's going on now. Like, how is it working with all the people you grew up with, and then now having like all the younger kids? Like, so you have those are like two different things. You have the reissue stuff, and you have like all
so that would be the older guys.
yeah.
And then the YouTube, the Dan, the Nigel, the YouTube video, and the Dana Lives.
Yeah.
So that would be all the younger kids or kids just starting.
Yeah.
You know.
So how is that for you? Like, you get the best of both worlds, pretty much. Then, huh?
It was definitely a transition too from like the fun days of just like hammers.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like, you know.
Now you guys
now
are going to a skate park and filming videos.
Well, now the guys like me, and back then they didn't like me. Like, I'm not pushing them down any stairs.
Well, you have learned from your lesson. You've learned your lessons, right?
But there's still dudes out there who are just trying to push the limits too. Like Andy, like grinding that one reel with the non-waxing.
And so, we're trying to mix up both right now. Kind of just, hey, let's go. We'll go to a skate park, or we'll go to this ledge, and we'll get some YouTube content, and then we'll go to like a real spot and try to film a trick, and then Dan and Nigel will be there capturing that too. And then, oh no, you can't use the kickflip back nose blunt down Staples, but you can use this.
Oh, you guys are holding on to that one.
Yeah, that's going to my part. So, sorry for the ignorance here, but like, so all of these guys are on Powell. Like, is Mowgli on Powell too?
Flo, but
Flo.
he gets to do everything. He just had a baby.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow. He's been, congrats on that, dude. He's been on YouTube for a while too.
Dude.
I just met him the other day at the Andy's thing.
He did, and he was pressing.
He was
pressing to get me on.
Yeah. But he had a good. I mean, it lit the fire in me. I'm like, dude, yeah, you're right.
What I
Let's
should
do
have said
it.
is like, no, Mowgli, you should go because you're more famous than me because you've done all the Braille stuff. Like,
That's true.
He's like one of the
too.
main Braille guys.
Right. Right. Not that you should listen to comments and all that stuff, but do people like talk shit about like what you guys got going on there?
Of course.
Yeah. They
100%.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, try not to look.
No. Yes, but sometimes it's helpful a little bit, right? If it's constructive criticism,
Yeah, some of the boys look at that stuff though and get so bummed.
They get
I'm
bummed,
like, dude,
right.
come on, stop
it's
looking at
tough,
that
dude.
stuff.
So you notice a lot of like what do they say? Like, oh, they're just YouTube guys now, or like what's
It just
the main?
depends what comes out and like how it comes out and on what chat. Like I'm sure Dan gets comments and Nigel and stuff
Right.
like that.
Right.
I think Nigel got some comments about filming the Andy thing with a phone. And it's just like, dude, you guys did it. And I forget what pro I was talking to. I was like, Chris Gregson. I was like, dude, no excuses. If you just have a homie with a phone, let's film this.
Yeah.
I was filming with Chris yesterday, and we were talking about it. And he's like, yeah, don't tell that to people because I still want them to be able to use me. I'm like, dude, nobody's going to replace you.
He's
You're
one
a-
of the best like transitions
Dude, and he's the
filmers.
sickest dude,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's rad, and he skates phenomenal.
He does.
Was he the only other filmer in that part that filmed something other than Nigel? Because Chris Gregson had like footage of him
He
skating
did.
transition,
Yeah,
and it was like a like a regular camera.
I think there was a bunch of clips with regular cameras.
There was.
There,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
yeah,
a
yeah.
couple.
Like 15.
Oh yeah, you filmed the not a spin to front crook.
Jamie
So
Foy.
I'm learning how to film on him doing the craziest stuff.
That's you learning how to do. That was a good angle. The fisheye, I did
still don't
notice
know
it.
what I'm doing.
Hey, just point it. Just
Yeah.
point
Just
it.
keep me in frame.
Yeah, keep me in frame.
Yeah.
Shutter doesn't matter. Exposure.
Yeah, you get all that. Put an auto.
Times are changing, man. It's
Big time.
crazy. And you know what? It's funny because like I think every skateboarder is like the biggest fan of their era or their generation,
Yeah.
So I think it's hard for skateboarders to see all this change going on and the
And then adapt
YouTube
to it, yeah.
and adapt, right? But man, like I don't know. It's just interesting like how our industry kind of like goes
Our industry's fucked right now.
different ways. Yeah, it's
But it's so
seriously
cool
fucked.
because there's so many different facets of it.
Oh, totally.
And
But it's so
just-
splintered.
yeah,
It's just like everyone can create their own lane now.
Yeah.
yeah, completely.
Yeah, it's not like
You don't like this, and then look over here. And like,
It was also unified, and now it's just so. It's just
well,
all
there's a
over
lot of
yeah.
stuff to choose from.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of channels out there. There's a lot of Instagram clips every day. There's a lot of everything.
so what is it going to look like in 5-10 years?
I don't know. Hopefully the aliens come before that.
You know what? I think freestyle is going to make a huge comeback.
Who was telling me that the other day?
I think that
And it's only because like
What about
it's
vert?
hard. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but freestyle you can do anywhere. Where vert you can't. You're
Well, that's-
subject to having a vert ramp.
Yeah.
Where
That-
freestyle you can do.
right.
That's where vert died. I think for one point is when skating was so new and the terrain was so new that it was easy to access. Vert, well, yeah. Where I don't even know where a vert ramp is around here, to be honest.
Grosso ramp or Magnus's in the valley. Sorry.
Okay, that's so-
that's two in the Los Angeles
okay.
area. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
two.
in
Yeah.
Venice,
Right.
yeah.
But why do you think freestyle's on a rise?
I think people like just to try hard tricks and like freestyle is like difficult.
Mhm.
You know, and just kind of want to push yourself.
I think that was funny watching Andy's part was that skating all these crazy spots, and then he has the spot on the tabletop here in Venice.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, damn, to do that, all you need is that little space.
And he said that was his hardest trick out of all the whole
Yeah.
video. Like what?
It's crazy, right? But you can literally almost do it anywhere.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I was thinking the dark slide was the hardest one through the curvy rail,
Yeah.
and he did like 5-6 tricks on that thing.
I think the hardest part is just getting into it.
Yeah,
Like once you're on there, I think it's just the wiggle.
To be honest,
wiggle.
being able to find a spot like that would be hard.
yeah. Jordan Maxim showed it to him.
Yeah.
No
that's
way.
great, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Huh.
So there's in Jordan's video. What is he at? I double.
I
iDevil. Oh, I think
In
Andy
iDevil,
mentioned that.
he
did
did something-
mention
he
that.
did
That's
have
right.
something
I
in there.
remember that. Yeah.
We talk about getting sued.
Getting sued.
Yeah. So
You want to change the YouTube subject, huh? Let's go back. Let's go back to.
because
Let's get.
your viewers want to hear about getting sued, not YouTube.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
too much
true.
YouTube
I want
on
to.
this
I want to
channel.
hear. I want to hear about getting sued for sure. What happened? What's going on with this?
The first time was I think I was there for a year, 6 months,
Okay.
and we have a hotel at ASR, And we're downstairs having a couple drinks, and one of the riders gets too drunk. So I take him upstairs, get him away from industry and like making a fool of himself. And he goes upstairs. He's so drunk, he starts throwing up in the tub. And he's like, ha ha ha. And you realize we're watching him, so he starts eating it. And so Jared grabs the video camera, starts videotaping him.
Whoa, dude.
And then he throws up in the toilet, and he's hamming it up, and he starts eating it out of the toilet. And we're just like, oh my God. It was funny, and then it was like, okay, we do that for 5-10 minutes.
Is that funny or gross?
Yeah. Okay,
what the fuck?
At first, he was just like,
That can't be good for you.
well, yeah.
Right.
What's your
It's stomach acid.
Yeah, I know. Who was the team rider? Steve-O? God damn.
Dude, seriously. We
Go
won't
ahead.
mention his name,
Go
but
ahead. Okay.
it gets worse.
Okay.
So then Jared and I, all right, cool, let's clean this up. So the team rider cleans everything up, get him to bed, and we go out for a drink. We come back about an hour later. I walk into the room, and it just goes, There's 2 inches of water throughout the whole hotel room. We're just like, what happened? The toilet clogged and flooded. I run downstairs, get towels, come back up, clean it up. I tell the hotel, like, hey, this is what happened. We clean everything up. We're like, all right, cool. And then we go to sleep. Go back. And a couple days later, I get a call from the boss. Like, hey, we're getting sued from this hotel. Like, what happened? I'm like, well, I explained to him what happened. He's like, well, the water dripped and it went downstairs into the computer room. We're getting sued for $110,000. Oh. He's like, I need to see that video. I'm just like, I'm getting fired. I've been there like, a couple of months, whatever it was, a year. It's like, Jared, can you edit the tape? I probably shouldn't say this because they're going to watch it now, right?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Blowing the spot
it's
up
okay.
right now.
They know.
Okay.
And Jared and I were just like, wait a minute, let's watch it.
Okay.
So we watched the tape. And we're like, yeah, that happened.
Okay.
He threw up. Yeah, he ate it. Yeah, we filmed it. But it also shows us within 5 minutes, like, hey, now we need to clean this up and being responsible, And so we just sent the whole tape in. And I get a call and he's like, hey, how about from now on, no buying the riders alcohol? I'm like, perfect. And from there on, for the last 20 years, it's always, I tell the story of what happened and like, hey, this is how come you're not getting.
But here's your per diem.
No.
That's true.
Yeah.
I use the card to buy.
Right. Yeah. The company card.
But it's kind of cool because now, instead of like at night, it's like, oh, let's go party. It's like, hey, we got the lights. We're on a trip. Why don't we go light something up? And they're just like, well, sure. They don't care. Well, we can go party or we can go skate. And at that time, they were just like, yeah, whatever. If you want to go skate, let's go skate. That's what we're here for.
Was that the only time you guys got sued?
No, we got sued twice.
Okay. What happened this time?
This was later. It was like, let's go skate. One.
By the way, can we just roll back? Did you guys win that lawsuit?
Oh, thanks for asking that.
Yeah.
So they, the lawsuit got dropped. I think what happened was the toilet clogged again, flooded. And so I think that's what happened.
They thought you guys were up to no
problem.
good.
Huh?
It was a plumbing problem.
Yeah.
They thought you guys were up to no good and like
which
messing around.
Kind of were, but weren't. We
Right,
were stuffing stuff down the.
Okay.
So they couldn't be clogged because he ate everything. So
Yeah, it was all good. He finished his bowl.
Yeah. So the second time,
Go ahead.
we're driving out. Let's go skate, and we see this water park, and it's got like this perfect half pipe. Like, you know what? We're going. Go over there. Charlie Blair jumps out. So does Mighty, and this kid Lance. But remember, this kid Lance just got into the van. Doesn't know anybody. Literally got into the van. In Vegas, where we were an hour outside of Vegas. I call him. I'm like, hey, you're on Flow. I got an extra room in the van. Hop on in. He's like, oh, dude, I just got a job. Like, I can't go. I was like, okay. He calls me about an hour or half an hour past Vegas. He's like, hey, man, I just quit my job. I'm ready to hop in.
Oh, dear.
I drive back. We grab him. Now we got a full van. We drive out. We see the water park. And we're like, oh, yeah, let's skate this. So Mighty, Lance, and Charlie hop in. And they're skating it. And I'm like, Mighty, can you do that? Go higher. And Mighty's like, fuck you. Hops out. He's like, I'm not going higher. This thing's scary and slippery. I can't do it. Like, I'm out of here.
It's like a fiberglass.
It's a fiberglass, like abandoned water park.
Okay.
And
They're the ones like halfway out to Vegas, right?
so that's that
Okay, sorry.
That is probably the best place that I've ever skated in my life. That one halfway out to Vegas that's gone now.
Oh, is
That
that?
because of that one, I would stop at every single water park. Like I literally drove to Vegas, saw that park, we got out, hid from the security, got an 10-page article in Skateboarder, went to Vegas, got another 10 pages. And at the time when magazines were prevalent. So
Okay.
now back to where we get sued. So Charlie and Lance are still skating this thing. Next thing, a cop rolls up. We're like, all right, whatever, we're gonna get a ticket, or they're just gonna ask us to leave. And he's like, no, you wait here. I'm calling the owner. I'm like, come on. So he calls the owner. The owner's like, I'm on vacation. I'm gonna send my boy over there. His boy comes over there, opens up, walks through the whole park for an hour, comes back. He's like, yeah, I want to press full charges, and writes down all the stuff that's damaged. Mind you, we have footage of just skating, one thing. And next thing you know it, I have a photo of Charlie in the back of the police car, handcuffs,
Right.
and Lance. And Lance has just met these guys the day before, and he's already in jail with Charlie Blair. So the next thing that happens is they call me. Charlie calls me from prison. It goes something like this.
From prison. It's not prison.
Jail.
He's doing 25. Go ahead.
And he's calling me. He's like, Deville, can you get me out of here? And then Lance calls me. Same thing. Please, you have to get me out of here. Yo, dude, I don't know anybody here. Like, I'm not with Charlie. Like, I don't know what to do. And then 2 hours go past. Lance calls me again. Same thing. Dude, you have to get me, like, seriously, like, what can you do?
What are you doing this whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Charlie calls me. Yo, dude, like, it's not so bad in here. I met these dudes. We're making Kool-Aid. Like, it's all right. Don't worry about me.
Okay.
I have to wait till the next day to go to bail bonds to get them out. So I have to let them know, like, in the morning I'm going to bail bonds. The rest of the team leaves. I rent a car, go to bail bonds, bail them out, go meet them a day later in another state for the demo. And then we get sued. We have to go back. We have to hire a lawyer, which was $8,000. We made a trip out of it. Ended up costing another, $20,000 to get us out of that mess.
No
And
way.
after that, it was like, hey, please don't go to any more water parks. And what's funny is, like, 15 whatever years later, Michael's like, oh yeah, I asked you not to go to any more water parks. I'm sure you went. And I was like, no. After that, I never went to another water park. But I really want to go.
Damn. Because like there's a lot of kind of famous. The one in Arizona, the one that Cardiel does the nose blind.
Yeah.
That one's pretty famous, but I'm sure that one.
And Dressen. And then there's two in Fresno. And they're pretty much next to each other within a half an hour. One, you hop in, Ben does feeble grind and maybe end of fun or something, but you just have to feed the dog and then you can hop in. There's like 3 dogs in there.
What? You just know to
give 'em a
knew to
steak.
feed the dog.
You just see the dogs. You're like, here.
Hold
you go.
on, we
Like,
got to stop by PetSmart on the way there.
No way.
Yeah.
Deville, man, these tours ain't nothing like Girl and Chocolate tours, man. God damn. Man.
He's got dog food in the
I
van.
know, right? Got kibble next to him, ready to go. Let's talk about being team managers. We had team managers on the show before. Kelly's team manager. Vern Layer's been team manager. He's always stressing about, the etiquette, hitting up team managers and doing all that stuff. How do you take on that? Do you have pet peeves that when people hit you up at certain times?
I use the Vern thing. Like, I'll mess with the boys. Like, hey, didn't you see the 9 Club? Don't hit me up so late. They still hit me up. What's cool is I can hit up my brand manager, Billy Backer, at whatever time.
Why?
He's never like been like, oh, don't hit me up at 12. He's probably still up doing something.
Okay.
I'll text him like, hey, what about this? And if he's able to text back, he'll text back to me.
So you don't mind people, like you don't
Sometimes I
have
just won't get back to them. I'll save it on the text and get back to them in the morning if I'm
Okay.
tired or playing, Apex. Something important.
Okay, yeah. A lot of things important, Apex Legends. So you don't have like a pet peeve, really. You don't like Vern. Literally, I'm friends with Vern. He said he will block me if I texted him at midnight. Like he will too. I know Vern 100%.
Well, he sends us screenshots of things that happened to him.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, to be honest.
So you don't care. You're just like, whatever. Like, would you prefer emails? Do you prefer text? Do you
Definitely prefer the email.
Okay.
It doesn't
matter?
You can become friends with these guys. You know, I'm spending so much time with them anyway. So it's like, they know, you know, like, I'll try not to hit them up too late. And, you know, but sometimes you just kind of do.
Right.
Vern was giving me crap the other day for a post I made.
You were telling me about that. What happened?
So I made a post. Well, I hit up Nigel. I was like, yo, Nigel, can you post like, hey, we're looking for riders? And Nigel's like, well, you know what? Do it with me. I was like, damn it, I didn't want to be on the camera. But okay, I guess I asked you. I got to do it with you. So he made an Instagram post like, hey, looking for riders. Mm-hmm. It's just saying, if you want to get sponsored, send me this and you know, send it to my DM. And so we did. Got a bunch of replies. Within 2 hours, Vern hits me up and was like, yo, the hell you doing? That is corny. Take that shit down. I'm like...
Because like, Vern's the TM for
Bones Bearings, and Powell Peralta's right next door.
Right.
He's like, I just got hit up by this team manager and this pro skater. Like, what are you doing? Like, Vern, you know what? You're right. It's corny. Let me think about it. I probably should take it down. You know what? I thought about it. I'm leaving it up. And I'm going to try to do something funny every couple of months just for that.
Oh, you're going to piggyback off it? Just to make Vern mad.
I thought it'd be a funny one if, like, I'm asking the same thing, but, like, Cab and Salmon are in the background playing chess. And then they start fighting and, like, Salmon throws Cab in the pool or something.
What, you have it planned out already?
I do. I had all these scenarios that I'm trying to plan out. It's just funny stuff to do.
Yeah. So you left it up on your Instagram.
We left it. It's still up. Left it up on Instagram, and then.
Well, which post is it?
Ooh, I don't know.
Going down? Is it that far?
It might be ago? Now.
Wow, you post a lot. Right here, this one? No.
I have no.
There
it is, right there.
This one?
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, you guys were talking.
This is NK and Deville. Got a cool announcement for you guys. Powell Peralta is looking for some new flow dudes. So if you guys are interested, hit up Deville on his personal Instagram. Here it is.
Hopefully there's some guys close to LA, but if not, that's still cool too.
Yeah, either way. Because we'd love to have you out. We're looking for some new dudes. You can be part of the videos, get a lot of free gear, and it's a really fun time. But thanks for checking it out, and later.
How many people hit you up?
Too many.
Right.
Really?
Were they sending you like
I think next time
YouTube links or just like Instagram?
Or just like, hey, I heard you're looking. It's like, well, why don't you just send me your... You know?
Yeah, like, hey, what's up? And it's not have anything to show. Yeah.
And then I would try to go to their Instagram. Sometimes they were like, you know, private Instagram. So then I would move on. And like, I would try to look at the Instagram before even hitting them back.
It is kind of unorthodox, though. I've never really seen...
And they're
it.
right. It's completely corny. But you know what was cool?
Huh.
It's 3 months later.
What'd you find?
Vern comes up to me. And he goes, in his Vern voice, yo, that Maisel girl you put on, she's your best rider. Kick everybody else off. She's dope. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, Maisel's sick. I'm like, Vern, remember that post that you yelled at me about? Yeah, so what? I was like, that's the only rider that we put on because of that post. And now 3 months later, you just so happen to tell me about one person. Wow. And he just looks at me and goes, yeah, she's rad, and just walks away.
Yeah. He got beat. He's like, okay.
I'm not surprised to see that, to be honest. I kind of like that idea. Like, just you're looking for new riders. Let it be known.
But as a team manager, don't you get hit up a lot, though?
Well, here's the thing. I will say that Vern is a team manager for Bones Bearings.
Everyone wants
hugest
Bones
team
Bearings.
that everyone wants Bones Bearings. Yeah. So that he gets hit up by every single. I was our team manager for Mob. That was gnarly. That's a lot of people hitting you up.
Yeah.
Yours is different. You have certain people to work with.
1,000 board companies.
Yeah.
You know, so like they could hit up any one of them. So this way, at least people know.
But you're talking about people that don't necessarily aren't in the flow program. They're looking for a new flow rider. So that's what I was asking. Don't you guys get hit up on your Instagrams? Oh, Kelly's a team manager of S, or Deville's the team manager of Powell. Hey, I want to show you my stuff. Don't you get hit up already?
Yeah, you do.
Sometimes, but if they, if they know that you're looking, sometimes,
I mean, of course, but I just assumed you would. I just assumed you guys always just get hit up randomly. No, it doesn't happen. Okay,
I feel like
interesting.
It's weirdly. I feel like I discover skateboarders more than I get hit up by skateboarders. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's kind of the way it's turned into somehow.
Because you're embarrassed, you don't want to ask.
Yeah, the kids now are. I mean, you'll have some kids, but check out my footage, and you're like, damn, I don't know. It's just the way it is.
Give him a thumbs up or a shaka.
Keep on skating, kid.
No, but no, it's I like the way you did it, and it worked.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Try to do it again, maybe a little bit funnier.
Yeah.
Who's the? Let's see. Who'd you put on? Let's try to search. Let's see. Raj, you might have to put a little edit. What was her name?
Maisel.
Maisel. I like that name. Oh, Maisel Paris?
Yep.
Okay, let's see what Maisel's got. Oh, she follows a nightclub. We'll follow her back. Boom. Look at that. Amazing.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
And her dad's deaf, so they have a secret language where he can read lips, so she'll be talking to him without saying anything.
Oh, wow.
And I'll just catch them doing that. I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so sick.
She's from the Philippines.
Yeah.
Let's see. Damn.
Okay.
I think she's like 9 or 10.
Strictly vert?
Vert, transition,
Yep.
the park.
Okay. Let's see what else we got. Boom. I'm such a fan of women's skateboarding and how fast it's progressing.
Oh,
And
big time, dude.
It's psycho.
I love it. I love every minute of it.
So what did she send you? Did she just send you a link or?
She talked to Kiko and was like, hey, I'm interested, but she was writing for the Daggers, and I told her, like, I can't steal. And so she's like, well, we were going to quit anyway. I was like, okay, but I have to do it the right way. So if you quit, then we can do it in a little bit, but it's not like I'm not going to come after you. You know? It was that whole thing. It was funny as the team manager from Daggers came up to me and was like, what's up? I was like, no, I didn't steal her.
Yeah.
I promise.
Daggers. Oh my God.
I do love that Paul doesn't steal riders at all.
Yeah, definitely a Stacy thing. Cause I've gotten in trouble for it before, like stealing Charlie Blair from Dogtown.
Mm.
Oh, look at her with Margie.
Sick, dude.
Yeah, if you come watch her at Huntington Beach Skate Park, she's insane.
Sick. I love
So
that.
did she move out here or?
Yeah, she lives out here.
Cool.
Yes, you know that skate nomad, the guy that travels the world?
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
I know his YouTube.
he's gnarly.
Yeah.
You know he does it off of $10,000 a year?
Really?
What?
Yeah.
What do
he
you
was
mean?
telling me it was like 10, maybe 15.
His YouTube channel makes only 10 or 15 grand
No,
a year.
that's how much. Yeah, well, that's how much he lives off of, and he travels all those places.
Wow.
Yeah, he spends that much money during that time.
That's it. That's all. Yeah, he just
It's thrifty.
living on people's couches. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, he's a nomad on a budget.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's some skate shit,
Yeah,
dude.
he did a
That's-
video with her when in the Philippines
Hmm.
while he was out there.
Cool.
But he's trying to go to every single country.
Oh, look.
That's his goal.
Raj, she was
Sponsor
at the...
Huh?
Sponsor him.
I send him boards.
Yeah.
Or he just came down. I gave him a bunch of boards. So anytime he wants boards, I
Yeah.
try to get it to him.
Look, she was at the Red Bull Origin.
Have him be your talent scout.
Right?
You ever mess with like vert?
Do I-
Bowls, yeah.
I try to go skate once a week, the vert ramp, the Grosso ramp.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got knocked out a couple of months, 2 months ago. Trying to do a backside nose grind.
No. You're wearing your helmet,
I
though.
was wearing the helmet.
And you still
it's
got
not
knocked-
it's not a certified helmet. I probably should get that. Yeah, that's not fun waking up. Actually, it made it easier to get knocked out because then I didn't get winded and like everything didn't hurt.
Mm.
Dude, you got to take care of that dome.
Dude, telling me.
Deville, man.
It's insecure when it's really insecure when you get knocked out and wake up. You're like, something just got taken away from me.
I've never been knocked out, thank God. Like, never.
No.
Raj, you been knocked out? Oh, God, he hit me. He hit me. Raj just sucker punched me. You ever been knocked out, Raj?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was skating home from my friend's house, and we're like cutting through it's like pathway. It goes into my high school, and I hit a rock, and basically like slid on my face, completely like just shredded my whole right side. Somehow I got up, made it home. My mom's like, "What happened? Like, are you all right?" And I was just like, "I'm fine. I lost my fucking hat. Where's my sugar daddy hat?" And
What?
they
Like the
took
candy, sugar daddy?
Yeah. So they took me to the hospital, whatever. I was in the hospital for 3 days.
What?
Wow.
3 days.
It took me months to figure out what happened that day.
Oh my
And like I had 2 different shoes on when I got home. My mom's like, "Why are you wearing 2 different shoes?" And like I couldn't tell her why. And then I realized my friend told me that like we were skating earlier in the day, and you know back in the day like you wear through like one shoe wherever you
And he's
grab your friend's shoe. So like I basically had like my friend Eric's shoe on my right foot, my shoe on my left foot.
how come you were there for 3 days?
hmm
How come?
Fucking just observation, yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
Damn, dude.
Kelly, you been knocked out?
I had a propaganda shirt on too. It was shredded.
Did you find Did you find your sugar daddy hat?
I did in the parking lot
Okay.
at the high school.
Just
That's how
making sure.
I figured. I started putting things together.
Oh wow, you found it.
You
later.
still have the shirt. It's worth money.
I don't.
I've never been not. I've watched my friend. It was one of the scariest things I've ever seen. Well, I was skating the IE. My friend. It was. I usually will never skate these type of rails because I watched my friend go through this. It's like a rail that goes down a bank, basically a mellow rail. It's at a post office. It's in Ontario, I think. And he had a front nose and slipped out, but landed back on his board and slipped right back. And we called the ambulance right away, and it was just the wildest thing I've ever seen.
It's horrible seeing
it's
your
a
friend.
horrible,
Yeah.
and he ended up being okay after that, but he went to the hospital. But he was like passed out. He turned blue.
Ooh.
Yeah, like it was really scary. I'm
Scary, bro.
Glad it turned out okay though. But
Yeah.
that stuff's not. I have a hard time speaking about that type of stuff or like thinking about it. That's why I like.
Yeah.
that
E,
was- yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, can I tell you about the guy I knocked out?
You got.
Jeez, what?
Now we're on like bar brawls. What are we going on here?
Well, yeah, I guess it was a bar brawl.
Okay.
After the fun premiere, we go. Everybody's psyched. We go party. I didn't have anything to drink. I'm with my new girlfriend, who Rob Washburn introduced me to, the Bones brand
Wow,
manager.
okay.
We're hanging out and kind of getting bumped into, so kind of getting agitated because you're not drinking, like, you know. But Jordan, Hoffart, Josh are like all having fun, dancing and stuff, and it's like kind of crowded in there. And then suddenly, a guy from behind me starts kind of hitting me, and then takes a swing and it like kind of misses my face. I'm like, what's going on? And I got super agitated. I was like, okay, this guy's hitting me. So I just turned around and hit him. And he goes on the ground. I look on the ground. I'm like, fuck, I just knocked out like some old man. And then like this other guy starts dancing around him and starts pointing at him and goes, ha, 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 look, he's got no pants on. The guy had nothing. He only had a T-shirt on, nothing from below. I'm just like, oh, I just knocked out a naked guy. Like, what's going on? And then the next thing, the security comes. What do? They just stand and look at him. I'm like, are you guys going to take him out? And they just stand there for 10 minutes waiting for him to get up, walk over to his clothes were neatly folded and start putting them on. And then they take him out.
What was he doing? He was just a freak on the dance floor or
Yeah.
what?
And then just, yeah, it was so weird.
That is
Because like
random.
I've never had that kind of experience where somebody's just trying to hit me and then, you know,
Naked
like,
guy
I didn't even
no
get a
less.
chance to look at him. I just turned around
You mean
and
the mosh pit?
no, it wasn't even the dance floor, but nobody was moshing. It was kind of like dance music.
Wow. Jeez.
That was a wild story.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
But we've had a lot of wild stories from getting pied to getting knocked out, you know, and everything in between.
Oh shoot!
How's everything now, man? You got your own little YouTube channel. We'll plug that right here. We got Deville Nunes
What's
right
funny
here.
is my girl edits the videos. It was
Oh, really?
What?
Pretty much, it was her idea. She was like, "Oh, you got all this footage. Like, why don't we do it?" I was like, "Oh, babe, if you edit it, I'll give you all the assets." She was like, "Oh, fancy word." I'm like, "No, that's what you say when you give the footage to you."
How does your channel do? Is it okay? I mean,
it
some videos get a good amount of views, and others just get kind of, you know,
Yeah, it just depends.
4,000, 5,000, 7,000.
Yeah, I mean, I just did that. Who Tony Hawk calls to go skate pools. That did okay. The cab one did
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
Andy ones usually do okay.
Yep.
If I'm posting once a week, it does like $100 a video.
It's not bad.
So
Yeah.
it's
It's free money.
yeah, it's kind of
It's
cool.
great.
We kind of put it into a joint investing account with stocks, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, because she wanted to save up for her Ever house, and so
Okay.
we started.
So you got a
doing
little
that.
thing going on over
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Because we live in a fourplex right now, and I rent out the other units, so we live for free. I'm like, I ain't moving out of here.
Look at you,
Nice,
dude.
dude.
Okay. No, that's pretty dope, man. That's pretty dope. Yeah. Christopher Hyatt's awesome too. We got to get Christopher Hyatt on the show, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He'd be so sick,
he's-
dude.
he-
I'm a fan.
He would definitely talk.
Yeah. I like how he just kind of using that old school board is
Mhm.
kind of like his thing.
He killed
you
it
know?
on it.
Oh, yeah. He's so good. He's a good regardless, but he does it on that board, what
Mhm.
trips me out.
I think
Yeah,
he'd be
that's it.
better on a regular board. No,
That's what Jordan Maxim said. He's like, you should put him on a regular board. He'd be better.
But like that's his thing, though.
But you can't put it's his choice. You know, hey, dude, you got to skate this board. You know
what he likes to skate.
Yeah, he likes skating that board. Yeah.
And now he's working on a shape, so hopefully he'll get a pro board soon.
He's not pro yet? Oh my God, Powell.
No, usually they were skating that Steve Size board a lot.
Yeah, he was.
Oh.
Yeah. Victor Garcia skates that board a lot now.
Dude, I don't know how.
Does it trip you out when dudes call you and ask you for old school boards?
Yeah. It's pretty sick though.
Yeah.
Is it weird? Is it for promo wise? Is it weird giving? Because these are like made for sale for the most part, right? I mean, obviously, but like.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool now that they're also skating them, so it kind of promotes those boards.
Yeah. No, totally. I guess I didn't think about it.
And it's good for the collectors if people are skating them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
That's why we don't do the smaller holes. We do the bigger ones.
Oh.
So you have to find the certain trucks to put them on there.
No way,
Or you
really?
can re-drill them.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Well,
I didn't know that.
We should re-drill them so like everybody can skate them, but they're on the old school
I
collector
didn't realize that. Okay.
truck bolt holes.
Wow.
How does the reissues work for you guys? Like, do you work with the writer specifically, or is it like George doing that stuff? For like, we're getting Steve Size board done.
Yeah.
Is that you reaching out like, hey, we want to redo this, or redo a graphic?
No,
or?
it would be George or Billy Backer.
Oh, okay. So you're just dealing with mostly
team, photo, video, shoot one ad a month, video, find writers.
Isn't so George
Counselor.
and them are doing the retro stuff?
Yes.
Cool.
I love it, man. Deville,
Yeah, it's
dude.
fun.
Look at you, bro. Saving up for that house, huh? Is that what you said? The forever house? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Got the YouTube going. Powell. Man, you guys got it going on. I definitely like what you guys are doing over there. It's different. And it's just cool to kind of see somebody, people doing some different stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Stoked to be able to do it.
Dude.
Thanks, George, Stacy, Michael, Billy.
Well, I don't know. Some of these stories today, you might not... You might be good doing the YouTube channel full time.
Well, it's also you guys have the legacy of skate. Like, how long have you guys been in business?
Dude, Powell?
Yeah.
Is it, Roger? 40?
76, right?
For real? 76? So it's 45 years old, maybe? 45?
48?
Santa Cruz is what? They hit their 50th,
Yeah,
right?
Santa Cruz is older.
Oh, yeah. So by 5 years? Really? That's it? Good stuff, man. Deville, dude. Hey, can we give you some 9 Club stuff to take
fuck
home,
yeah.
dude? We got some Yeti stuff. We got all kinds of... Kelly, we do the honors, bro.
What size t-shirt?
XL.
Dude.
I don't think we have any.
You guys have any hoodie? A hoodie?
You want like any XL?
We have new clothing coming soon. Like you're just like a day late, I
I can
think.
send you a box.
Yeah, we got you. But we got other stuff too.
That's
Stuff
sick.
you'll be stoked on. How is it? So I love... Andy Anderson just came out with his new part, right?
Yeah, he's been working on that for a while.
Dude, he's been working on it for a while, dude.
And doing the YouTube, and
he's like really got it going on, man. But I don't know. I really liked his part because it's so different. Sometimes we see kind of the same standard stuff, right? Smith ground down the rail, this, and it's nice to see somebody that has a different
way to think,
outlook and
original stuff.
It's kind of amazing to skate with him in real life because you're like, I don't know what you're doing right now, dude, but it's incredible. Like, I don't know the names of anything he's doing. I don't know how he's doing it, but it really is like that when you go skate with him.
It's insane.
I told him I think he should just film a fun part. Thank you, Kelly. Like, this part was like
a chomp
really
on this style
serious.
part.
He really, go
I
out,
love that
have
idea.
fun, go film just a fun part, dude. Because I think that's what...
Him dorking around is amazing to watch.
It is so amazing. And
yeah.
if you had a whole part surrounding like that, like some serious, but still just having fun, I think that would be really dope.
Sometimes you just go to skate park with him, and he'll just keep going and not stop. And the guys are filming him. It's just like, it's incredible.
Dude, he skates out of bales.
Yeah, that's really impressive to watch, to be honest. Yeah.
Anybody at home that doesn't know what that means, he bails his trick, but he skates out of it. I don't know how he does it. It's incredible.
I was riding my bike home from the curbs one day, and like Andy was just like skating in the same direction as me. Like I kind of crept up behind him and didn't even know I was there.
Yeah.
But he literally did tricks from like the border of Santa Monica all the way.
And you just watched him?
I just followed him, and he didn't even know I was
your
there.
phone out and filmed.
I wish I did, because I was like, dude, like he literally just did the most insane line from Santa Monica to the skate park. Didn't fall once.
That's like what, half a mile, maybe?
Yeah, it's nuts.
Half a mile. Yeah.
That is so
long.
funny.
Yeah.
That's Andy though. That he's skating alone. He's in the vibe. Like
Yeah.
he is.
He's just pushing down the street and just doing everything and dodging people and
He's got something different where he can just concentrate on one thing and just focus on that so hard and just be in the zone.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
he's one
It's-
with his board.
It is really crazy to watch. Like, if anybody out there has the opportunity to go see Andy skate in real life, like, go. It's phenomenal. But he should film. Tell him. I already told him. I'm like, dude, film a fun part. Like, you worked so hard. You were throwing up, trying to do tricks. You really like beat yourself up over this part. Like, go film a fun part. Go have fun. Go out with all the Powell guys and just go like, let's go.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
No, that would be sick.
Deville. Dude, thank you so much for
appreciate
coming, dude. We got a little care package for you. We got the 9 Club Yeti. You
Oh,
got
my
to stay
girl's gonna love
hydrated.
that.
Oh, we got to
That's
get
sick.
another one for you then. Okay, we got
That's
you.
not what I was trying
We
to
got
say.
both. We got both of you. We got both of you. His or hers
That's sick.
9 Club socks. Are you for you or your girl?
Both.
Okay, you're gonna share them. There you go.
Should we steal it all?
Also, hey, go. Play some music in
Oh,
the van at the spot.
Not the van, dude. There's a sound system in the van.
Bro, this is the.
broken.
Do you know what
Oh,
this is?
okay, perfect. There you go.
Kelly, this is the Terrain Mini, bro. This will be perfect in the van. There you go. That's for you.
Thank you.
Get your little coffee in the morning, dude. Little 9 Club mug right there, bro. And you're a hat guy, dude. We got the 9 Club hat,
No,
trucker
perfect.
hat, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, amazing.
Are you a
Deville-
Yankees fan?
I don't really watch football.
Football. Again, that was-
I just like the hat. I lived in New Jersey, so that's the closest place.
all right, fair enough. All right.
You know it's baseball, right?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah,
Obviously, you're not a golfer. Big Lebowski. Dude, Deville, thank you so much for coming by, dude. Doors always open. And, dude, congrats on everything, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks for keeping skateboarding so positive and interviewing so many people.
Thank you,
It's
bro.
so sick to
We
watch.
try.
Hey, we're just having fun, dude.
Yeah, thank
A lot
you.
of stories to be told. Yeah. Deville, everybody.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah. There we go.